This show brought to you by Audible.
Audible. For your ears.
For your earballs. So if you want to listen to a book, if you never learned to read but want to be mesmerized by the stories, kicked by a mule, what if you fall in a well?
I think they go back.
Then you can read again. Go to audibletrial.com/horrorvirgin. Get 30 days free in a book to get you started.
Read Stephen King books. They're awesome.
Or anything else.
When he turns blue. I got a thing for blue 1 foot Brits. Welcome to the Horror Virgin, everybody.
Yeah, that works. That works.
Yeah, we were just having a little chat about Princess Bride.
Princess Bride, yeah.
Yeah, that is a good movie. Scared the shit out of me.
Hey, who are you?
Though. Oh, hey, I'm Jen.
I'm Todd, the Virgin, and today we have special guest Randall.
Hey, Randall.
Yes.
And there was much rejoicing.
And there was much rejoicing.
Gnashing of teeth, rending of garments. Oh,
I think he was referencing Monty Python.
That's correct.
And there was much rejoicing.
Python.
So Randall is a big Halloween fan.
Yeah.
I know this because he explained all 10 of the sequels to me over Las Palmas once. And he was like, do you want ones where Laurie Strode is dead? You want these movies. Do you want ones where Laurie Strode's alive? You want these movies.
Choose your own adventure.
I haven't even said it. Yeah, that's what he said. He's like, the Halloween series is like a choose your adventure series.
There are like 5 different timelines.
Do you want one without Mike Myers? They have one for you. Yeah, so I haven't seen any of those. I've only seen the one we did last week, the original 1978 version, and this one,
Halloween.
Spoiler alert, didn't love either.
Well, yeah, because you were terrified.
Yeah, I get it. Like, they're both good movies. I just would never watch either of them again.
I liked both of them. They're not my favorites, but I do like slashers a lot. Yeah, they're good. I mean, I got some thoughts.
This is a great breakdown
I know.
of how you feel about this movie. I liked it. I don't know.
Good.
It was
well, it was a movie.
guys.
It is nothing like
Rolling Stone said it's a movie.
The actors' parents all loved it.
So we watched the original. Sorry, not the original. We watched the most recent Halloween.
I've been calling it New Halloween.
New Halloween.
Yeah.
But it's Halloween 2, right?
Yeah, it is basically Halloween.
I'm so confused.
Halloween 2018.
Yes.
Halloween 2018, right? But Randall, you were saying that this one comes.
This one comes directly after
direct
the original.
Sequel.
40 years after.
Yeah, but none of the other sequels took place.
No.
Yes,
That's
in this
insane to me.
timeline, this is. I know. I was talking to my husband about this today because he was confused because he thought Michael Myers and Laurie were brothers and sisters, which they are if you choose the timeline that goes to the original.
Choose your own adventure.
Right. This is a direct sequel to the original 1978 movie, and it is pretending that none of the other movies in the timeline exist at all.
Right.
Which is interesting. I kind of liked that.
I mean, I haven't seen any of the other sequels, and I know that some people really hate some of them, and some people really like some of them. I mean, Randall, you've seen all of them.
I watched a lot of them today.
Did you? Yeah, I watched some of them today, too.
AMC, thank you for that.
I've seen the original, and then I've seen the sequel, and then I've seen H2O, which I love, and then I've seen this one.
Okay.
And I've seen half of Season of the Witch, and I just couldn't do it anymore, so I turned it off. I'm sure I'll go back one day. But
and you haven't seen Rob Zombie's?
Oh, yes, I have seen Rob Zombie's. See, and I don't really consider part of this.
They're not. That's just another
right, because it's another remake.
But it's a remake, right? They remade the 1978 version.
They did, and
Rob Zombie did.
Yes, they added a lot.
In my mind, Rob Zombie plays every character, so there is no they.
Mean,
it's just he did it by himself. Wait, what?
And I mean, that's kind of
I feel
his
like
aesthetic.
Rob Zombie with like facial hair and a wig playing Laurie Strode. And
okay, there's a Twitter handle that's like Rob Zombie Jurassic Park.
What?
And it's like Sherry Moon Zombie is a sexy raptor, and she's saying, "Daddy, I'm gonna bite you," and then somebody else is saying, "You fucking cocksucker, come get me, fucking Jurassic." It is hilarious. That's pretty.
I think we should
how
stop
much you were
this and go watch.
Yeah. I liked how much you were bouncing while you were saying that.
I mean, that's how I imagine. Yeah, his movies have a lot of cursing in them. Every other word is like the F word or the C word.
I'm into that.
Or Sherry Moon Zombie, just like.
Who is that?
His wife.
Sherry Moon Zombie is her name?
Yes.
Her first name is Sherry, and her last name is Moon Zombie?
Her middle name is Moon.
No, it's not.
Well,
none of this is real.
Her maiden name is Moon.
What?
I mean, I doubt Rob Zombie is
What is
not
happening?
actually a zombie. His brother's Ted Zombie.
You don't live in the woods by any means.
Yeah.
When I got out of my car, I looked to my left, saw a row of trees, grabbed my backpack out of my trunk, and ran into your. 'Cause it was
Really?
open, and then I went. Your door was unlocked. Did you learn nothing from this movie?
I left it open so you guys wouldn't have to go through my
That's
house.
how the murderer gets in.
That's true. Yeah, but I'm waiting.
would
I got
already
a
be in
trap. It's not a garage.
Oh my god!
It's a trap.
Oh my god! When they went Admiral Akbar at the end,
dude.
I was so happy. Anyway, can we get into this fucking movie?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah, okay, so we open on a really important lesson on how not to do a podcast.
Yeah, but they were like a serial type podcast, right? They had, or like a
Yes.
true crime podcast where they like would go back and like reveal stuff about murders.
Like
and
the
they
British
get-
Phoebe Judge.
So yeah, so like they are going to
Smith's Grove.
Smith's Grove. So that's where the
Yeah.
asylum is, right?
Yeah.
And Smith's Grove is like shutting down or whatever. Or they're just transferring Michael. It's not shutting down. They're just
They're
transferring
transferring
Michael.
Michael and
It's
a couple
Halloween.
other
You've
people.
got to transfer.
Oh my
Exactly.
God.
There has
Yeah.
to be a reason
Oh
for
no, those other movies don't exist.
That's true.
Yeah.
They don't
Maybe
exist.
they don't need to transfer. What do I know?
Right.
You
I've
know
just
a
seen
lot.
all the movies. Fuck you, movie.
You get mad because you know more than the movie
Right.
does about it.
I guess it wasn't raining, so that was a plus.
That's true, but
That's
it was
true.
very foggy.
The guy podcaster and the inexplicably British podcaster chick who's with them go to see Michael, and they meet.
I mean,
did Loomis?
what kind of podcasters are British?
How ridiculous is this?
Am I expected to believe that British people can podcast too?
That is the only problem I had with
They
this
keep
movie.
stealing all our fucking jobs, man.
I have a real question. The guy who
real
played
question?
Loomis, is he actually dead? Is that the
Yes.
reason he wasn't
Is
in
he?
this?
Pleasance, yeah.
So, and we
Okay.
heard his voice at the beginning, but it was a voice actor. It was like a sound alike. No,
Yeah.
it was. It was a sound alike actor.
Okay, so he's dead, right? So the guy we also meet the doctor who they replace Loomis with.
New
right?
Loomis,
New
I
Loomis.
think is his name.
Well, that's what we're gonna call him because
That's it.
his name was
They
weird
call him-
and long.
Lori called him that.
Dude
well, yeah.
podcaster and inexplicably British podcaster go to meet Michael, and they go out to the
A
courtyard
little bit of a
area.
clunky nickname, but
Yeah, I
we'll
like
go
it.
with it. Red podcaster and boy podcaster.
Ooh, she did have red hair, didn't she?
She did.
I knew I was attracted to her for some reason.
I thought it was just because she was a woman.
No, it takes more than just that. Although that's a step in the right direction.
That's
so
like
she
95% of it.
she has to be hot and ready to make bad decisions, and then I'm into it. So they go into the courtyard and they see a bunch of crazy people. There's like a dude with a white umbrella. Like it looked
Oh,
like.
yeah. Like,
Why was that not contraband?
Why,
Yeah, maybe-
why was he allowed to hold an umbrella?
because I think that's part of his like evil villain powers.
It was the Penguin. I
was
swear
the
to God,
Penguin.
that is going to be the beginning of the Penguin movie directed by Tim Burton.
And one of them looked like Jamie Kennedy too. Did you see that guy?
I did see that, and I was like, "Hey, what is Jamie
I was like,
Kennedy
what's
doing in
Jamie
this
Foxx
movie?"
doing? And then I got real confused, and it just took me out of the movie.
So they go up because they're
Yeah.
trying to elicit a response because the doctor, New Loomis, has not heard him say anything and is trying to
Right.
get him to say something. So
He's just been whispering. this
tall
whole
guy
time.
podcaster and inexplicably British podcaster woman go up to him and they start trying to get Michael to say anything, and like nothing happens, and then he
Yeah.
pulls the mask out of like a backpack he's holding and is like, "You can feel it, can't you, Michael?"
They borrowed it from the
You can
Library of
feel it, can't you?
Congress. The power, and
ridiculous.
everybody else starts freaking out, and Jamie
Yeah.
Kennedy starts like shouting about rules
Jamie
for
Kennedy
masks
in this
and
movie,
stuff.
guys. Rules for masks?
Yeah, the rules. There are rules for pulling masks out of tote bags.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That was a Scream
Woo.
reference. It went
It
way over
was-
my head, but I get it
know.
now. I'm on it.
It
Oh
just
yeah,
seemed like a really inefficient way to house prisoners.
it did.
yeah.
And did you see how his toe went right over the line?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Market zero.
Well, his toe went right over the line. It's a zero, Donnie.
I would have loved if one of them had shouted, "Am I the only one who gives a shit about the fucking rules?" Because his toe did cross that
Yeah, it
line,
did.
and that's
Well-
why I got murdered.
I honestly thought, well, spoiler alert, I honestly thought that when he held the mask out, because his arm was way over the line, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Do not cross the line was the only rule you did.
And tie your shoes.
And he, well, yeah, and tie your shoe because one of them, that's one of their fetishes.
Yeah, and how are they gonna? I guess
It's
they're
weird,
just gonna
right?
like Migs all over him.
Migs?
That's a Silence of the
Silence of the
Lambs
Lambs, yeah.
reference.
Migs?
Yeah, see, we're not the weird ones. You're the weird one here.
Does Migs stand for something?
He
Like,
jerks off.
he
and
jerks
shoots
off
it all
on
over
Jodie Foster.
that's a migging?
Yeah, that's a Miggy.
Ladies,
Oh no,
come on over.
I'm sensing.
I enjoy a good
a
migging.
new square on the bingo card being
Oh, yeah.
formulated right
Oh
now.
yeah, we're gonna mix. We're gonna add this to the bingo card. So yeah, so they show on
Going
the
on the
mask.
con.
Michael doesn't even turn around, Everyone in the courtyard's losing their shit. Michael's like stoic as fuck.
Right. Yeah.
And then that's scene. And then that's when it cuts to the Halloween. And then they show the I like the
smashed
pumpkin. Yeah, well, it wasn't smashed. It was just deteriorated.
Yeah.
And then it's like reverse as it comes back
and
to
then
life,
it went
right?
regenerating.
Which I sort of thought that was cool.
I thought it was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
And it was the exact same design too. It even had that little cleft palate. The pumpkin thing was cool.
Yeah.
And
So-
it's Halloween now.
Oh.
And now we're in Halloween Town. And
Oh, not
let's go.
Halloween
Let's
Town.
go. Boom, Halloween. So
hang
the
on.
next thing is they're driving to interview Laurie.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the podcasters, the dude and the inexplicably British chick
It's
are
only a
going
matter of time before you mess up the word inexplicable.
I
and I'm
honestly,
just waiting
I
for it.
honestly am impressed of how many times I've said it correctly.
When you say it wrong, I'm going to hit the big Pee Wee Playhouse thing on the wall.
And we're all our couch is gonna stick his tongue out. It's gonna be insane.
Yeah, you don't pay for interviews. That lady. Fake news.
Yeah. What the? Anyway, so they pull up to Laurie Strode's house, and it is like a fortress.
Yeah, it's
There's like a big
awesome.
fucking fence around it that is inexplicably gone in the at the very end, but we'll talk about that. And then
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and then they
Well,
hit
she
the,
opens it. We don't ever see her close it.
That's true. They hit the call box, and she's like, "Hello," and they're like, "Yeah, we're here to do an interview. We're here to do an
pay me."
interview." Yeah,
Right.
and she goes,
Three-
"Money over everything."
She doesn't say that.
No.
But the gate opens.
The
Yeah,
gate
it's
opens,
implied.
so
Well, I
we
mean,
know. It's implied.
No, she releases the call button. She's like, "Money over everything."
Because she says $3,000.
Fuck you, pay me.
Yeah.
I just like the idea of her like, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
It says, will you be making it rain
Laurie
today?
Strode,
'Cause
yeah.
then you can come in.
And she does. She makes it
She
rain.
does.
So anyway, so they're like, we don't pay for interviews, and then the chick,
Yeah.
inexplicably a British chick, goes, "How about $3,000?"
Yeah, because boy podcaster thinks he's just all about the truth, and that's the only thing
We're
everybody cares
journalists.
about. Yeah.
Journalists don't pay
Fuck
for
you,
stories.
podcast.
That's like one of the only times I laughed during this movie.
Because the other times you were crying or screaming.
I wasn't crying, but I did squirm
Can
a
we talk
lot
about
in this
the
movie.
time that you jumped in the Pet Cemetery trailer? Because that,
That
was
wasn't even in the movie.
hilarious.
Can we not talk about shit that's not in the movie? And it wasn't even like a scary part of the
I know
trailer.
it was a truck that went by, but man, it got me too. And then I
God,
started
hate
crying.
this shit.
For
All right,
feelings.
so they go in, they start interviewing Laurie Strode, and we find out a lot of stuff about Laurie's life
Yes.
to this point.
Mm-hmm.
Because
She for
all this-
sure would not be talking to them without that money because she hates them.
Well, she doesn't hate them so much. I don't think
She's
she
like,
hates them.
why do you
She's
want to know about
annoyed
my
by
story?
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you care?
But this is where we find out that Laurie Strode has had 2 failed marriages. She's had a daughter,
Yes.
and she's her daughter's had a daughter. So we know about the 3 generations of Strode.
3 Strode ladies.
Yeah, they roll in 3 Strodes deep.
I'm not going to say that. I was going to call them the Strodersons. That's not actually their name.
I like the Strodersons, though. That's pretty great. Okay, so we find out that Laurie's daughter was taken away from her. I don't remember Laurie's daughter's name, but the chick
Karen.
from Archer who likes to get choked got
She
taken
gives
away from Laurie
consent,
Strode when she
too,
was
let's-
12. Yeah.
Judy Greer.
And this is where we find out that the 3 generations of Strode and that Laurie's daughter was taken away from her when she was 12, and they
Yes.
have a strained relationship, right?
And she never got the custody back. Yes,
Right.
they're
But we don't really find
estranged.
anything else out, and the scene is just whatever. You
Yeah.
know, there's not much more in the scene.
She is not really interested in helping Michael at all because they want her to go talk to Michael. No,
Yeah.
Reasonable request.
that's
Yeah, right? Although here's the okay, so this whole movie is predicated on the fact that Laurie wants to kill Mike Myers, right?
yes.
Prayed for it.
Right.
Yes.
Every day, which was a stupid fucking thing to pray for, which is what the sheriff says, which is great. Anyway, why not be like, okay, I'll go talk to Michael and then bring a gun. And then when they bring Michael out to talk to him, shoot him in the fucking face, end of movie.
Yeah.
I like how Reynolds
Seems pretty
yeah.
reasonable.
You shoot him in the face at the end of the second one, he didn't die.
Yeah,
What?
he's gotten shot in like 9 faces.
But the second one doesn't exist in this timeline.
Oh.
But still, yeah.
won't
she
talk about
doesn't
when his head was chopped off
know.
either.
That's
What?
true.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
I think he gets cryogenically frozen at one point. Too.
Oh.
Jason.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, they are similar. Don't
No,
make the
thank you.
mistake, though, because I took some shit about that this week on Twitter.
Did you really?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh,
People
nice.
razzing me over not knowing shit. It's fine. I'm new. I'm new with
I mean,
this.
this is the premise of the
I'm new to
podcast.
the, yeah,
is that Todd doesn't know
exactly.
shit about
Lighten
this.
up, nerds.
But he knows how mics work, so we keep him around.
Oh,
Oh.
I am the virgin. That's something
That's
I
my new
probably
ringtone.
yeah. I don't think I should have yelled that in a clean setting. I swear to God, if you motherfuckers make that ringtones or like,
Do you think there's any way I could ever make that actually happen? Do
What,
I
a
have any
ringtone?
kind of knowledge to
no,
do
I'm
that?
not. I'm not worried about you doing it. I'm worried about them doing
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, the Twitterverse.
Yeah. The Twitterverse for sure. So okay. So they more or less.
One of our fans is gonna hold a boombox outside your house with it playing on a loop.
Why are they at my house? Oh wait. We also find out from them. Or did we find this out in the first scene when they're moving him? We find that out in the first scene?
Yeah.
But they tell Laurie Strode, right? They tell her that they're moving it.
And she
Yeah,
already knew.
she knows.
She
because-
did already
Johnny
know?
on the
Yeah.
spot.
I do think there's laws in some states that you have to notify victims if things like that are happening.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, or like if there's a court appearance or if somebody's getting out of jail. So you don't like bump into them on the street and you thought they were in jail and now they're like in your face.
That would be super awkward. Like, oh my God, you murdered a shitload of my
yeah.
friends.
Hey, please don't murder
And
me
now you're
again.
bagging my groceries because
Right.
ex-cons can't really get good jobs, and it's sort of like reliving your sentence out after you've served your time.
And you have to ask for permission to go to the
pretty awful.
bathroom even when you don't need
Oh,
it.
Brooks was here.
I know, so was Red. So was Arm Girl.
Whatever.
Nobody
All right.
got my joke.
How many Stephen King references can we hammer
Everybody
into
drink.
the podcast?
Does it count if
Everybody
Todd
drink. That's awesome.
I think you have to drink twice if Todd says Stephen King.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So she gets her money and kicks him the fuck out, man.
Oh,
Nope.
yeah.
Nope.
So she gets her money, they peace out, and then it cuts to, we see Laurie Strode's daughter's family.
Mousetrap man.
Mousetrap Man,
Getting
which is
peanut butter
Ray
all
or
over
Roy
his
or whatever
dick.
his name is.
Ray.
I liked him, though. He was pretty great. I
Yeah.
thought the guy that got to play him did a great job.
I don't know. It was a little distracting how doofy he was.
I don't know. I liked it. But he's like fucking with a mousetrap.
It's like 9 mousetraps.
Huh?
How did it even get to that point?
Oh,
where he's got it on?
because he's setting
Yeah.
a trap, but because he's a man, his traps are stupid. That's the theme of this movie. Because when
That's the theme of this
when
movie?
men set traps, they get peanut butter on their dicks.
He literally said that.
I know.
I got peanut butter on my penis.
What are you doing with those traps, man?
Like, why is that?
You can't even talk.
You say that for the bedroom.
Oh man, I can't tell you how many times I've seen Randall like laugh but make no sound until tears come out of his face. He literally he sets one trap correctly, and then he goes into the kitchen to set another one, and it goes off in his hand. He's like, "Oh, I got peanut butter on my penis."
Yeah, and he's talking about her boyfriend.
Just laughing at Randall laughing right now. He can't handle it.
I had no
That's
boyfriend.
totally appropriate with your child.
Oh, at the table eating her
Exactly.
breakfast.
Yeah. And she's just like,
Hey,
"Oh,
you know
Dad."
that thing you came from? I got
Right.
peanut butter on that thing.
Gross.
Daughter.
Yeah, where's the dog to come lick it off? I had no boyfriend who would make that joke.
If by joke you mean would do it and wanted to see if you were into it. Elements of jokes have truths. It's like when a guy's like,
Testing the water.
so like
You mean
facials. That's like
I
something you should, like
I
whatever.
missed so many opportunities.
So what do you think about if I put peanut butter on it?
Oh, gross.
All this time. So, Allison is the granddaughter.
Allison's the granddaughter, but who's the mom? What's the mom's name?
Karen.
Jurassic Park.
Karen. Okay.
Jurassic
Or
World.
Jurassic World, whatever.
Oh, she
gonna
is
call
in
her
Jurassic
Kitty.
World.
Because I like Kitty on
Yeah,
Arrested
Kitty. She's
Development.
Kitty from Arrested Development. Let's go with that.
Or we could just call her Mom.
Laurie Strode's the mom.
She's the grandma.
Can I? At one point in this
How do
movie,
moms work?
how does the matriarchy work?
When you really love someone, you put a bunch of peanut butter on your dick. And you just set that mousetrap and nature just takes its course.
And then 9 months later, you have a baby.
Yeah, and you're a mother.
Aw.
Yeah, so Allison is the daughter, and she's been accepted into the National Honor Society. And so they're having a fancy dinner, and she wants her grandmother to be there. The mom has a whole bunch of issues with her.
Yeah, because she was taken away from Laurie Strode at 12, and they sort of are. They're not estranged, but there is a strain on their relationship.
Yes, there
for
is.
sure. Because Laurie Strode, I don't know if they really say it, but they kind of hint that she's an alcoholic.
Oh, yeah.
Or is in recovery
She has
for that.
PTSD.
Well, yeah,
and
yeah,
that
yeah.
manifests in drinking and
Sure.
paranoia.
Right.
Yes.
Well, I mean, yeah, she lives in a house that is a fortress.
Yes.
Or
Jinx.
is it not a fortress?
There's peanut butter all over
Being
that
a
yard.
fortress, he got in rather easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wanted
Well,
him to
that's
get in.
because she
He
wanted
prayed for
him.
it.
It's not a cage.
Because he prayed for it.
It's a trap.
He prayed for it every day.
Every time a mousetrap snaps.
I get peanut butter on my dick.
I'm gonna have to stop making
This is
peanut
the
butter
worst
dick
It's a
jokes.
Wonderful Life reference ever.
I know, it really didn't.
Is there anything else we learned in that scene?
Yeah, the dads are real weird.
He's
I was
not
just
yes.
weird. He's
distracted
just
by
like a
the first
silly.
comment.
Well,
I
we
just thought-
Yeah.
sense the dynamic that Kitty does not want to have anything to do with Jamie Lee
Oh,
Curtis.
yeah, and she
the
obviously lies
granddaughter
to
is
Allison.
more on board with Jamie
Yeah,
Lee
she
Curtis.
obviously lies to Allison about, hey, did you call
does,
your mom
yes.
about the dinner? And she's like, I totally did.
Yes.
Not a
Winky
good-
blanky.
Winky
Yeah,
wink.
not a good liar.
Yeah,
no,
no.
we all saw that coming in the
Yeah,
theater.
Judy Greer's a great actress, but she cannot lie for shit.
But maybe she is a great actress because she wanted us to know she
Wait,
was lying.
this isn't a documentary?
So now we're walking to school with Stoner Boy and Blonde Girl. So they're walking and they're talking.
Yeah,
and
so
they
the blonde,
they
the
left all their
blonde's
books.
boyfriend and Laurie's granddaughter Allison are walking.
Yes.
And they're talking. What are they talking about? I don't really know. Oh, they're talking about they're referencing the old movie.
Yeah.
So they're talking about what happened 40 years ago and that Mike Myers is whatever.
And how
Got
they
a
should just-
bomb, gonna
yeah.
blow this up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, and he blows up a pumpkin. Because this movie
what
is
was he wearing in
blowing
that
up
scene?
Halloween. I think
he was wearing the craziest outfit. He had a fanny pack around his neck.
I think you're right.
That is ridiculous.
And the next time we see him, he's wearing a farmer costume.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he looks more normal in the costume than he did walking to school. Like what he was wearing to school was ridiculous.
He must have.
God, I didn't even know that was the same guy.
It was, yeah.
I didn't know either until she said it was his boyfriend. I was like, oh my God, that was his boyfriend.
It was, yeah.
Or was Blonde's boyfriend.
He must have lost some
I
kind
had
of
no
bet
idea.
with the
I thought they were
costume
two
person.
different actors.
He probably slept with the costume mistress and then never called her back. So she was like, I'm really going to fuck with him and make him wear the stupidest shit.
Well, I mean, she's a costume mistress.
Oh,
That's on her.
She's kind of
really.
asking for it.
What was
she wearing?
Exactly. Exactly what was the costume mistress wearing? But anyway, so it smash cuts to the locker, and this is where we meet Allison's boyfriend.
And his boyfriend.
And then Allison's boyfriend.
Yes.
I forget Allison's boyfriend's, the chubbier one. How about this? Allison's boyfriend and then boyfriend.
Okay.
I like that. All right. So this
Ladies
is
and gentlemen, we have landed on nicknames.
We have landed on nicknames. So we've got Allison's boyfriend. We learned from Allison's boyfriend in the Allison conversation that they are going to go as Bonnie and Clyde to the Halloween party that night.
But there's a secret twist to the Bonnie
Well,
and
we
Clyde.
don't learn that yet.
No,
but
we
yeah,
don't.
there is a secret twist that is a fabulous. And then we learned that boyfriend thought that boyfriend and Allison's boyfriend were going to be going as a couple.
Couples.
Of
one was going to be a costume mistress, and the other one was going to be somebody that slept with that costume
Well,
and never called her back. So it's just weird.
They were going to be a
really
theme
stupid
costume,
thing.
right? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but now he's decided that he wants to go with
But
girls.
yeah, I mean, absolutely. If my girlfriend's like, "Hey, I want you to wear a themed costume with me," I'm gonna be like, "Sorry, bro, I'm gonna go with the person who's probably gonna put out."
Are you saying he wouldn't
after
put out?
she gives consent.
I mean, you might.
And takes charge of her own narrative and decides whether she wants to put out or not.
Listen, I'm not saying he shouldn't get
She
consent.
is gonna be wearing the
I did
pants
say that
later.
she was putting out, so she is deciding to put out. I didn't
Right.
say
She is putting out. She
But
has
the dude
verb
coming
in
over
the
kissing
sentence.
on everybody, it looks like he's putting
Dude.
out too.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he's
You don't-
trying to get it all over. And this dynamic between those two guys just really didn't work for me. I was really annoyed by most of the teenagers. Blonde girl was okay.
the two girl teenagers were fine.
Yes.
It was really the boys that were real dumb.
And this was like I haven't seen Pineapple Express, but it's that kind of humor that I feel like they were trying to add these comedic elements in that just didn't work for me. It's like they were trying to be Scream, but they weren't funny enough. And the
it was
tone-
trying to be Scream, but no one was Matthew Lillard.
Exactly.
So nothing was working.
Nobody was even on fucking roller skates.
No,
man.
what was happening? Nobody
know.
fell over once. No, that's not true. Well, we'll get to it.
But yeah, and so that was the tone of it. Just kind of was like it wasn't sure what kind of movie it wanted to be.
The next scene, which is PJ Soul's classroom.
Yeah, which I
you
like
never
this
see, you
part.
never really see her though. You
Yeah.
never really see PJ
PJ
Souls,
Souls
but
is credited in Randall
as the
taught
teacher.
this.
But I didn't. Did you see her?
I didn't see her.
No,
I didn't
we
see a
just hear
teacher
her
in that
voice.
shot.
And it's
but
very quick.
It is
too.
pretty much. Yeah, it's like a minute and 6.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much. It's pretty much that same shot in the first Halloween from 1978.
And that's
where-
also in H2O.
Yeah. Oh, is it? I didn't realize that because I haven't seen it. But
Yeah.
it's the same shot as like, but it's not Jamie Lee Curtis looking at the window. It's her granddaughter, Allison looking at the window, and it's Jamie Lee Curtis
Yes,
out there.
and
which
that was
I
awesome.
think this is the first time they gender reverse an iconic shot from the first one. Right.
Right, yeah.
And they do that a bunch.
And
but
you
I
looked
like
at
that.
me at that point because I was like,
I know because you were like losing your shit. And I was like, yeah, we know. We know.
Yeah, we know who
everybody
you are.
knows. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, when she looks out the window, there's Jamie Lee Curtis there.
Jamie Lee Curtis gives her all the money.
Yeah, well, they go to the track and talk because, when your grandma just shows up creepily outside of your school window, you're allowed to just leave class and go talk to your
That
grandma.
grandma's got $3,000, so
You think she
I'm going
greased the
where
principal?
Yeah, I think so.
Here's $2,900. Talk to Principal Not Strode if you want the other $100.
Not Strode.
I mean, I don't know what his last name is, but
I
it's
think
Not Strode.
The Fonz.
The font. Hey, that would scream too.
Nobody's even died yet.
No, to this point, no one has died.
The whole money scene is not what happens with the money.
She
gives
gives it
them
to.
the money.
But I'm saying there's nothing. There's no resolution. She
Oh,
never
no.
spends it. There's no point. I thought that whole stuff was just.
It never pays off.
yeah,
You're right.
There's no reason for any of that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't hate that because
I mean, we
it
could've-
did give Jamie Lee Curtis a reason to go see the granddaughter, and then we get a conversation between the two of them without the mom.
That's
and
true.
We realize that the granddaughter Allison is a little more understanding, but she's still like, "Why can't you get over this?" Which you can't just get over PTSD, guys. You got to get treatment for
I
it.
just assumed there would be some type of wedge between the mom, the daughter, the grandmother. The money would be apart, and just
Oh, yeah.
none of that had anything to do with anything. It was
I think
just
that's going to
nothing.
happen in the sequel.
Could be.
And there definitely is going to be a sequel. We'll talk about it,
we
though.
will.
Yeah.
It cuts to Laurie watching them all get on the prison bus and just like shooting airplane vodka in her car.
Yeah, I have a very small bladder, so I had to go pee.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so like I missed this scene, and then when I came back, you guys filled me in on what happened. But
And she actually sees him probably for the first time since it happened. But yeah, so then she goes, they're having their honor society dinner, and dad and boyfriend are bonding over being weird together.
I think that
Smoking peyote with the
Yeah.
dad. The other the kid's dad.
yeah, I think the kid's dad and Allison's dad are friends. So like they.
But the dad had been talking a bunch of shit about the kid's dad too, or Allison Mousetrap dad had been talking a bunch of
In that
shit
scene.
about boyfriend's dad.
Yeah, I think he was just doing that because he actually
'Cause
knows
he's a
that
weirdo
family. Well,
goofball.
yeah, he is a
Yeah.
weirdo goofball.
Once you smoke peyote with somebody, you're
it
tight.
fucks your
Yeah,
brain
yeah,
up
yeah.
forever, and you just start setting mousetraps everywhere and getting peanut butter all over yourself.
That
Yeah,
explains
guys,
everything.
don't do peyote.
That's
That's
The one
the-
thing
that's
I
the
learned
Heard it here
about peanut butter, the one thing I learned when I had peanut butter in my penis is that peyote was a bad idea.
That peanut butter peyote combination did not pay off.
Peanut butter, peyote, penis, peyote.
It wasn't a peanut butter peyote payoff. Please. So then Laurie crashes the dinner because Allison confronts mom that she didn't actually invite her. Laurie's drunk. She sits down. She starts crying. She is
Yeah,
legitimately
because she just
upset
got back
about
from
a very
seeing Michael being
traumatic
loaded onto
thing.
the bus, and she's like
Yeah.
freaking out. And I understand that. She
I do
was
too.
face to face with her attacker probably for the first time in 40 years, and she's been thinking about it every night and praying for it every night since then.
Yeah,
I
and
sort of understand that.
I do too. And I can also understand the family's reaction too, because this is when we learned that the mom and Laurie Strode basically have the same dynamic as if Sarah Connor had never been taken to the Pescadero Hospital and they'd just grown up teaching. Like they're basically John and Sarah Connor, you know. She taught her to shoot all the guns.
Yeah, I could
she
see that.
taught her to like build the house, you know.
Yeah. Build the house.
I mean, they
Oh,
build
she taught
their,
her how to
their
use
crazy
that.
trap
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
The trap house.
The trap house. Yo, that's probably not the best way to say that. Yeah.
What is that? Oh, do I want to know what that is?
I want you to
Does it have-
Google image search trap house.
I don't think. Does it have peanut butter on?
Maybe.
Yeah,
I think I'd rather just live in the dark.
honestly, maybe.
So she's having kind of a breakdown because she'd just seen Michael
Lori
Myers.
is, yeah.
Yes. And
So she's crying, and the dad's like, "This is what is happening. You need to leave." Like,
right. And Lori and Allison is like, dude, she's having an issue right now. She needs our support,
And
not
then,
our eye roll.
Kitty is like, "Hey, let's go for a walk."
Yeah.
or whatever.
Like
And
this
then-
is not the time.
Yeah, and then Lori just gets up and walks out. Jamie Lee Curtis walks like she's going to walk into traffic, but then the daughter comes out.
Yeah.
The granddaughter, Allison, comes out and like confronts her.
What's his nickname,
not confronts
Todd?
her. Yeah, not confronts her, but
nickname.
like comforts her.
Comforts her. Yes.
And
the
that's-
opposite of confronts
Right.
her. Yeah.
Well, confronts her
Confronts
with
her
love.
with kindness.
Yeah.
We got there.
Listen, Grandma, I love you, and you are supported.
And if you don't accept this hug, I'm going to push you in the road. Okay, but so this is an interesting thing that this movie is doing. And I feel like the tone of it is just pretty uneven because they're saying a lot about trauma and how she has been dealing with this for 40 years and it's affecting everyone around
Yes.
her. And I can understand them at the dinner table not wanting to deal with this anymore, you know, because they've
Yeah.
been dealing with this for their entire lives. And I read an interesting article that said because Lori has lived with Michael every day for the last 40 years, everyone who lives with her also lives with Michael.
And it's very clear that even though Kitty hasn't ever met or seen Michael, she has dealt with the repercussions of
Yes,
Michael being
she
in
has
Lori's life for sure. Yeah,
and
yeah,
she
yeah.
mentions that she has to get over this paranoia too that the mom has projected onto her, which I can understand too, and I can also understand why the mom would do that. So, you know, trauma touches us all. Hey, and let me just say, if you do have PTSD, there is no shame in getting help for that. So get help.
Therapy's awesome.
Yep, help is
Yeah.
available.
It is the best.
Yep. I thought there was going to be a lot more of that woven through the narrative, and I feel
What
like
do you
they
mean a lot
kinda-
more of what? Because Lori's crazy through the whole fucking thing.
I know, but I feel like it's like Laurie's suffering narrative, and then all of a sudden, it's Laurie is Sarah Connor now, and she's just
I don't know. I
transitioned
feel like
into
they set up
Kick-Ass.
Lori as Sarah Connor early in the film when you see her shooting the mannequins.
Yeah, well, that's true.
I just
But
want to
feel
say,
like- Go ahead.
whatever mannequin warehouse she stole all those mannequins from must have had a great sale or whatever, because she had like 90 mannequins on her property and
did.
in her house.
And she cut like the top of their heads off.
Did
like,
she cut them off, or was she?
She Final Destination them? I
Yeah,
think.
I think she was like katana practicing and then
yeah.
shooting them with guns and shit.
That's what
like,
I do in spare bedroom.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm bored and I have a spare bedroom. Might as
Yeah.
well build a murder room.
My bedroom
with
has
mannequins.
nothing in
I
it.
do have a
and
trap
then-
house.
Yeah. Gross.
Everyone Google trap house right now. Pause the podcast.
Don't
We'll wait.
do it, listeners. On that note.
Dancer boy?
Yeah, dancer boy.
Yeah, because
and this was another scene that I was like, don't spend this much time like making us like this kid in this kind of unfunny dialogue, only for him to be murdered.
So anyway,
dancer kid, they're driving off to go hunting.
Yeah,
in a
him
truck.
and his dad. I loved this scene, dude. I loved that kid too. He was great.
He was.
Because I understand, like, I grew up and my stepdad loved to hunt and shit, but all I wanted to do was dance.
You dance.
Then you moved to a little town, and they wouldn't
awesome.
let you dance.
No,
it was against the law.
We had tractor chicken fights.
Yeah. Did you also do rage gymnastics?
Oh yeah, through a warehouse that was clearly not on duty. Like there was no one in there, but I got to punch dance out some rage.
It was awesome.
And then I jizzed confetti, and the movie was over. What are we?
I love
talking
Kevin
about?
Bacon,
Tybo.
man.
But seriously, this kid is talking about how he's missing a dance lesson for this.
Yeah.
And his dad's like, "Do you really would rather dance than go hunting?" He's like, "No, Dad, I love the me and you time."
It was actually kind of a nice little scene
really
between
was,
like a
yeah.
kid who
What
just
time
wants
is
to
it?
be himself.
Huh?
What time is
Night.
it?
Probably
Why would you go hunting?
Early morning.
Oh, it's early morning. Like it's dark outside, but I got the vibe that they were headed out to get an early start hunting. So it's probably like
they gotta
4 or
get
5
into
in the
that
morning.
deer blind before the
And
deer wake
I
up.
did do hunting like that when I was a kid. I was probably about that kid's age when I was doing it
Kill
too.
deer?
I didn't, but I watched my stepdad shoot a deer through the face with a bow and arrow.
Maybe the skunk actually did.
Oh, that's skunk murder.
Skunk.
We see like the dad's driving the interstate, and we see the dad slam on his brakes, and they're just dudes in white jumpsuits walking around in the street.
So the first thing you need to do is get out of the truck.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
It was very
Investigate.
reminiscent of the scene in the first Halloween when they're driving and she smoked all the cigarettes. So yeah, he gets out and we never see him again. So I assume he is okay, right?
No, I'm sure he died.
Yeah.
100%
Pretty sure they
sure he
all
died.
died.
And so the kid's sitting there and somebody bonks on the door and so the kid gets it. And he does get out with a gun. So
Well, because they were going
Which is
hunting.
another
yeah.
horrible idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he shoots Dr. Roberts,
Yeah.
New Loomis, not
Which I thought
Dr.
was
Roberts.
really funny. Yeah.
I did too. He's like, oh shit, and he
Because
runs back to the car.
the new Loomis stands up, don't shoot, and the first thing that happens is he gets shot in the arm right, or the shoulder.
Yeah, which I mean is probably something that a normal person would
Yeah,
do.
that's why you shouldn't give guns to children and let them walk around a bunch of strangers.
Yeah, when
And Dad died somewhere, right?
They never show the
dad's
dad again,
okay.
so we assume the
I
dad.
think the
I
dad's
assume
okay.
the dad just died because honestly, the dad should be dead.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's some
Making
crazy
shitty decisions.
Yeah, and that way,
Yeah.
whoever the mom is can get a clean start somewhere else.
Yeah.
He gets off the bus where he shoots New Loomis. The kid does, the dancer
Yeah.
kid, right? And he goes out and he sees the cop or whatever, the security guard. I don't know. He's like laying on the ground, bloody. You think he's dead, and he goes to poke him with the gun to make sure he's not whatever. And he's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Because he actually does move, and he's talking to and the guy just looks up and says, "Run!"
Yeah, and I think that's when he goes onto the bus and shoots New Loomis.
That's true,
And
right.
then he goes back into his car, and then we get the scene with
You mean
Nancy.
no? What happens to the kid once he goes back into the car?
Yeah, he gets killed by Michael.
Yeah,
she's
he
in
gets
the.
his neck
Choke-
broken by
yeah.
Michael.
So like
chokes
in
him
the
out.
original
Yeah.
Halloween,
So what happened after the child gets murdered?
he gets Annied. Yeah.
The
And
child gets Annie. Oh my God, that's amazing.
Better than mixed.
the
Oh
son.
yeah, you don't want to get mixed
Big mug. Yeah.
unless you're into that, ladies.
Well,
and then
let's
if you
just
are,
say the sun
nice.
is not coming out tomorrow for that.
not
kid.
for that kid. No, you can bet his bottom dollar. I like musicals.
Oh, dude, I used to watch that movie over and over again. I think I have the record soundtrack down there somewhere. Then we go to the gas station, which apparently is a remaking of the from Halloween 4.
Dude, this
They
gas
all run
station thing
together.
was brutal.
Oh, dude.
So this
I
is
know.
we catch up with the podcasters at the gas station, right? They're going to the gas station, and Michael pulls up. As they pull up to the pumps, he pulls up to the actual gas station itself and
right
gets out.
behind them, like
Yeah.
Loomis. Yeah.
He had to get him some threads.
Yeah,
He did,
and then
yeah.
he goes into the gas station, and as inexplicably British podcaster walks into the to find out where the bathrooms are, you see Michael in the background beating the shit out of the guy in the shop
And you
part
just
of the
see
gas
his
station.
arm coming up.
Yeah.
And it's
It looks like he
really
might be
effective.
either trying to start a lawnmower or punching someone to death.
Yeah.
And I believe it's the latter. In
Yeah.
fact, we know it is because you see him wearing his outfit, and then you see the guy
The
walk
bloody
in there
hammer.
earlier. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so she finds out where the pissa is, or the loo. She
The
calls it the
loo.
loo. So anyway, they tell her where the bathroom is. She goes to the bathroom. She starts to drop a deuce, and then
Yeah, she is sitting there for quite a while.
yeah,
Especially when some shady shit's going down.
yeah, right. Well, she doesn't know the shady,
the shady
shit's going
shit
down.
has already gone down, and she saw the evidence in those toilets, which is why she chose the third stall.
Well, you always choose the third stall. The furthest one away from the door is the only one that has protection.
Well, that's true, but it's also the least clean.
I was more stressed out when she was crawling around on the ground.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was gross. Anyway, so Michael comes in, starts to open the first two stalls, right, and then starts to beat on her stall, and she starts like, "Oh, occupado," or
Right,
whatever she says, right?
Yeah.
And then he
And then he leaves for a minute, and then we cut back
steps to the side.
Then we cut back to Boy Podcaster,
Yeah.
who's trying to pay for his gas, and we
that's
see
where
Counterman.
Oh man,
and
the Counterman got countered.
Dude,
It's like that scene in American History X. Yes,
Oh,
did you do the
yeah.
same thing?
Curb.
Oh, he got curbed on a counter.
Oh,
Dude, that freak, man, there was so much gore in this that I was not expecting.
Yeah.
Because there really wasn't much gore in the first one, and I thought this one would be super high on the creepy, unsettling feeling, and it was, but not much gore, and it still had a lot of gore in
it does
this.
have a lot of gore, but we don't see a lot of the impact of the gore. We see the after effects. It's almost like a Seven thing, like there are a couple of kills
I haven't
that we
seen Seven, but yeah, you're
it's
right.
on the list. We
Yeah.
actually see, like, a couple of times we actually see the kill shot, and
Yeah.
it was actually not as gory as I thought it was going to be, because I watched this trailer and I was like, holy shit, what are they not showing me? Because he comes over and he just drops all the
teeth. Yeah, in the bathroom, which is in the trailer. So you guys probably
fucking
seen all that. Even if you haven't
disturbing,
seen the movie, you've seen
and so
that.
I was like, what the hell's going to happen to this girl? And he just beats the shit out of Podcast Boy.
Well, yeah, because he figures it out, goes into the bathroom with a crowbar, and beats the shit out of Mike.
I thought somebody
But
was going
Mike
to
does
get
not
got
give
with
a
that
fuck.
crowbar,
Yeah, one
though, and I
shot.
was happy.
Yeah.
Got to make it count.
Oh, yeah.
But
I think he had twisted the top of that crowbar
but you've
off.
seen Michael get shot
Oh, yeah.
with the one shot from people before, and it doesn't do shit.
Michael's been
No.
set on fire before.
Yeah, like
His
nobody.
head's chopped off.
His
Yeah,
evil's-
nobody gives a
exactly.
shit. Like he does not care. He's gonna do
Yeah.
whatever.
Evil never dies.
Yeah.
He don't give a fuck.
So he chokes out inexplicably British podcaster chick.
Yeah.
I want to say that this is the last time I'll say her name, and I said it
say-
right every fucking time.
Oh.
Nailed it. And did he kill the not British podcaster man?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did sort of like how Michael used the guy. He used his head to break down the
Oh,
door
yeah.
where she was.
Yeah.
It was
That was
brutal,
funny to me.
man. But I thought it was going to be a lot worse. Seeing the trailer, when he dropped the teeth on the floor, I was like, holy shit. And then I saw the crowbar, and I thought somebody was going to get got with a crowbar.
Yeah, me
and
too.
nobody did, and I was kind of glad. Because I think we get the feeling of the brutality without actually me having to see a bunch of gory shit. And I
Right.
don't like gory shit.
I don't like gory shit either, but I don't like scary stuff either. I don't like any of this stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's when Michael goes to the trunk and he gets the mask from them because they had the mask the whole time, right?
Yes.
So he gets the mask, he puts it on, you finally see his face. Although I do like how when he doesn't have the mask on, they don't not show his face. You can sort of.
Yeah. They see
I
his
mean, it's-
white beard a little bit, and you see
Yeah,
a
it's-
little bit of a weirdo.
Yeah, it's
man.
it's
Old
out
man
of
Mike.
it's out
Yeah.
of focus. It's not really a focus,
Yeah.
but they don't not show you his face. There's actually one shot when he's pulling up that the guy's pulling out like a hose from a trunk, and it literally circles his face, which I thought was a cool shot. But it was really quick. I like that. I thought
Yeah,
that was
and
a
I
good
think
choice.
we saw him. We skipped the part where they were in the cemetery going to Judith Myers' grave, but
Oh,
we
yeah.
see him standing over there, and the tree is covering his face
Yes.
because he didn't have his mask yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like that. And so he puts the mask on. Hooray, Michael's back! Yeah.
Hooray, Michael's back.
I mean, that's what I'm sure lots of people were saying. I
Probably.
don't really care that much. I was saying, hooray, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah,
This is when she hears on the news that a bunch of shit's happening.
right. So she
She
she's like
shows
making
up at
coffee
the
in the
gas
morning or
station.
whatever, and the news is like, yeah, in the bus crash there was it was escaped mental patients or whatever, and she's like,
He's like, her?
Yeah.
Sounds like Michael. Yeah, well, I mean, and she knew the prison bus was being transferred.
her
so, yeah.
Halloween sense went off, and she goes
It
immediately
did.
to the gas
It was gonna
station.
wreck.
The indicator light for Michael's evil went on. So
How did she know to go to the
gas?
gas station though?
Because it was on the news that the gas station got a bunch of murders.
Because that's where he killed him in the fourth one.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
yeah.
Well, she was dead in the
She
fourth
se-
one.
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't
Yeah, there's no way she could remember
How
that.
would
She was
she
dead.
know?
How would she know? I don't
Plot
know.
hole, man.
So wait, the pumpkin reanimating at the very beginning was Jamie Lee Curtis coming back to life? All right, so she goes to the gas station, and this is where she sees the cop. And is he supposed to be the sheriff from the first one?
I don't think so. I think he's one of the deputies. He's
Okay.
one of the ones who was smoking weed in the
In the hardware store.
The hardware
Okay.
store, yeah. He's been on the trail of that skunk murderer this whole time.
Yeah.
The skunk that got away.
Oh man, gotta hate that skunk that gets away.
I know. It's just like a smelly cloud trail. He's one step behind.
Pepe
That's
Le
who
Pew
you're
just
thinking.
one step
like,
ahead of them
so
at all times, murdering dogs throughout the neighborhood.
Damn you, Pepe. Oh, he's one step ahead. Murdering dogs, seducing all the cats, man.
Seducing the cats, it's so gross.
Spraying a stink everywhere.
Oh,
you
my
don't want to
God.
be one step behind Pepe Le Pew.
No, you do
either.
not.
He's kind of rapey.
He is kind of rapey. Yeah,
Yeah.
stay away from that skunk, ladies. I don't know who played the cop, but I've seen him in a lot of stuff, and I like
Will
him.
Patton? Yeah, so this is when Michael gets to Haddonfield, and we have that cool tracking shot of him walking down the
Oh
Halloween
yeah, and
street,
he like in this. It's
bumping
almost like
into people.
one complete shot.
which is kind of like the opening shot of the original Halloween.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It
he's
is sorta
walking
like that.
around Halloween.
It's not killed or POV. But you're right.
It's not killer
it is.
POV. You're right.
But he...
Yeah, pay no attention to the tall man in a mask.
Yeah, the guy
Right.
who's like 6'7", wearing the only mask that's outlawed in Haddonfield.
Right.
And he's walking around with a hammer at first and then a very clean kitchen knife.
Yeah.
When he got the kitchen knife, that was pretty cool. If you've seen Halloween 2, that's kind of how that movie starts.
Oh, that's right. You said that to me in the movie. Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
So he's kind of just wandering around killing people.
Yeah.
Yeah. He walks up to
Literally.
a crying baby, does not kill the
He
baby.
kills that
which
one
is
lady.
good.
That was pretty brutal.
Oh, with a hammer? That's one of my top.
No, well,
the
that's...
one through the neck.
Yeah, he's on the one through the neck.
Yeah, and that's one of the few kills we actually see.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't see the hammer kill. I sort of... Because I make shitty jokes throughout these movies, and like the when you hear him killing the woman with the hammer, like because she's walking back in from her shed or whatever, and he walks into her shed almost right behind her, grabs the hammer and follows her back in the house.
And she goes, and then you just start hearing the whack.
Yeah, you start hearing the whack,
And then the chair falls in the open door.
And then Michael walks over and grabs the knife. I was like, oh, Michael won the fight? Like I was pretending like in my mind the chick with the rollers in her hair
goes and finishes her sandwich.
Yeah.
She puts on the Michael mask, starts walking around stabbing people. But yeah, so then he goes from house to house more or less, just murderating people.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's just what he does, man. He's a Halloween shark.
But this shot was really cool.
It was, yeah. And it was effective, too, because I feel like we did get the one kill for all those gore hounds out there. And then, but like, we still know what he's doing, and it still feels really brutal.
It is brutal. Like,
It
especially in the one where you see the stab to the neck. Like, she's on the phone with somebody, and someone's calling her to let her know that there's a murderer, and she's like,
Right.
thank you so much, I'll make sure to lock up.
But he's already in the house.
And he like is in the house. She like looks out her front window and he grabs her and smashes her head into like the wood part of her couch or whatever that was.
And then from
and
behind.
stabs her through the throat. Like it's
Yeah.
real brutal.
It is. It's sad, too.
Yeah.
Laurie's kind of patrolling around.
Yeah, because she knows Michael's out on the loose, so she's like driving around town.
Yeah.
She does have a police scanner in her truck, right?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
So is this when we go to Blonde Babysitter?
I'm not sure if it's blonde babysitter or party. It doesn't
It's
really matter,
stupid.
right?
Because this school dance is stupid and terrible, and I hate all the kids except for Allison.
Yeah, but we find out the big reveal about their costume is that she's Clyde and he's Bonnie.
So would you say it's a gender reversed role and that she is wearing the
gender fluid.
pants?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it was significant. I mean, I don't think it was a huge
I think
deal.
it was on theme. I don't know if it's significant, but yeah.
I think it was planned
Oh,
to fit with that theme.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I 100% agree
Also
with
to make that stupid boyfriend look stupid and that.
that. I don't know. I didn't hate the stupid boyfriend, but he is a stupid boyfriend.
was
Like, he
stupid.
plays that part.
Yeah, this
But-
stupid curly hair freckles. Man, he annoyed me. She was like, "Oh, he's so dreamy." I was like, "That
He threw
guy,
the phone in the yogurt.
dude, who throws a fucking yeah?"
Who brings yogurt to a fucking dance? I don't understand that at all. It was a punch bowl full of yogurt. Activia's gotta have that Jamie Lee Curtis
Right.
money. That's what it
Product
is.
placement.
It looked
Yeah.
like some like banana pudding and somebody eating all the Nilly.
Yeah, Nilly
wafers.
wafers, Nilly wafers.
Nilly wafers.
I'm going down, baby. Your street in Activia.
Sometimes they don't
Gonna
know.
stay regular.
Nice.
You're welcome. So, okay, so this is where we meet blonde babysitter, really. We've seen her before, but also the kid she's babysitting.
Yeah, who is
I
the
Knows
greatest
a lot
kid
about
ever?
smoking weed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really
And
like
has a very
Shazam.
shady, questionable
What is it?
browser history.
Is
Yeah.
it Alakazam?
I don't know what they're calling weed, but it's dumb, whatever
It
they're
is.
calling it.
Like, 'cause
but
he's
I
like,
really
"I'm
like
talking
the
about weed."
dynamic between the
I do
kid
too.
and the babysitter.
I do
thought
really
that
like that kid.
it was really sweet. It makes you like that blonde chick a lot more than
It
you
does.
did earlier.
Mhm.
I mean, it's not like she's annoying or anything. I like the blonde chick throughout the movie, but like you really it humanizes her.
Exactly.
It does a really good job humanizing her. And that the kid they have playing her, the kid she's babysitting, was awesome.
Oh yeah.
He did a great job.
Mm-hmm. She's babysitting. They are going to
They're
come
watching
over.
some movie. It's the same scene where one of the
Astro
kids.
Cop. He's new Astro
Yeah,
Cop.
he is Black Astro Cop.
He is better Astro Cop.
He is better Astro Cop because Astro Cop was the worst in the first
He
movie.
was.
Black Astro Cop and the blonde chick are like they're just giving each other shit. Like I really liked that scene a
I
lot.
did too.
Yeah.
And
She's sent into bed.
And the plan is for Allison and dumb boyfriend to come over
Yes.
after with some Alakazam and smoke some Woozy whatever.
Some pot.
Yeah.
If the kid knows it's pot,
That's
Jen,
true.
you know it's pot.
She's going to die if she smokes pot.
They don't smoke pot, Jen.
They do.
But
well,
she died
the
anyway.
motorcycle
Yeah.
kid
It doesn't
does. She
matter.
does. Yeah, she might as
Oh,
well
and she
have
also
done
doesn't have sex. Did you hear that?
that. Oh, yeah. Nobody.
She puts the kid to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Michael is already in the closet when she puts him to bed the first time. Did you see that? And then, so she goes back downstairs. Is when the boyfriend comes over.
Yeah. Boyfriend.
I
got
jumped
a
at this part,
tattoo.
too.
Yeah, that's true.
Because she goes outside and it looks like the sheets from the first movie.
Yes, it does.
Like
the clothesline.
on the clothesline, right? So I thought we'd see him up there and she would get killed killed there. But it's just the boyfriend comes in that scene, shows off the stupid tattoo with the October 31st, 2018.
Yeah.
Or whatever, because tonight's going to whatever.
What is it? He's got the
dry hump.
Yeah.
They're going to have dry sex.
Yeah.
Dry sex.
We got to remember it.
Yeah.
He's going to put a tattoo on his arm for every time they get to like third base and then fourth base. And then
I did think it was super sweet when the blonde puts the kid to bed and she's like, by the way, you're my favorite. Yeah. Because she was talking about how
I like you too.
Yeah, that was like so sweet. And then
she gets brutally murdered.
Yeah, and then shit happens, right? The worst.
So yeah, they're making out and she hears something, and then the kid, I think his name's Julian, comes running down and says, "There's a man in my room. There's a man in my room."
Saw him in the hallway, heard him breathing or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Hey, boyfriend, you go check it out or whatever."
No, she's gonna go, and he's like, "No, send Dave first."
Oh, that's right.
So she goes in and pretends and jumps out like, "Oh, I'm all scared. There really was somebody," but then no, and then she puts him to bed.
And then he says, "Well, can you at least close my closet door?"
Yeah.
And this is I saw this part in the trailer too.
Yes.
So I knew this was coming, where the closet door wouldn't close, and then she opens it and he walks out and grabs her or whatever. And this is where
and then stabs her.
that kid runs the fuck out of there.
Yeah, he goes,
and
"Oh
then
shit!"
She tries to get away, but slips on her socks or whatever.
Yeah.
So she gets out to the hallway, but dragged back in and stabbed to death.
Yeah.
And the kid runs down the steps and he goes,
"Dave, you're gonna die."
Yeah, he says like, "Dave, you're gonna die" or whatever.
Out, and that's the last we see of him.
He bones out to Bigsby.
They do. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I do like that Dave was like, "Fuck this" or whatever, and grabs the knife and goes up to confront Jason.
But he got hung up on the wall.
He did. He got bobbed.
And then she did too.
They did.
Yeah, she got bobbed.
So because we next see Will Patton, sheriff, show up, and he's investigating, and he goes up and he sees the ghost that looks like Bob, and
well, it wasn't Bob, but it's
blonde girl.
Yeah, it's the blonde girl.
Bob.
I thought it would be the guy, but it's not. It's blonde girl. And then he goes downstairs and we see the boyfriend stabbed into the wall, just like Bob got
bobbed into the wall. Yeah, and then we can see his dumb tattoo.
He has an affinity of hanging people on the wall.
He does.
Is very good at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we see the sheriff go up to where the blonde chick got murdered, right? And then Jamie Lee Curtis pulls up too, and she's like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Right. She just starts waving.
Shoots into the house.
Yeah. Well, and then she sees Jason. She sees Michael up in the window,
Twitter,
and then shoots through it, right? But it's the mirror she sees, and then she sees him walking down the hallway, and the cop sees him
and starts
he
just starts like walking so evasively, and
then he just disappears.
Oh no, he didn't duck or dodge or anything.
This part
he just walked.
Really pissed me off because they have guns and they're chasing with their running legs a guy with a knife walking
down the steps.
Jamie Lee Curtis does shoot him in the shoulder. Like she gets him in the shoulder.
He didn't care.
His shoulder
didn't
even flinch. Well, he might have flinched. We can't see his face under the mats, but he just keeps walking. He doesn't start running and then gets away.
Just gone.
How is that possible?
Because he's evil.
It's because Jamie Lee Curtis. I was
she pistol whipped dude right after that too.
Well, no, that's why they stopped looking for him because she gets scared and they have a good laugh about how
that's their meet cute.
Yeah, I thought they were going to end up together.
Oh, yeah. Spoiler: they don't.
They do not.
Oh.
Anyway, I thought
she doesn't need a man.
I thought that was real dumb. That was like the biggest part of the movie where I was like, man, fuck this. This is dumb. There's no way he could have gotten away from two people with legs.
Have they been doing as much cardio as he does?
But he
doesn't even need cardio. He walks.
Yeah, he walks.
No, but
everywhere.
What you do is you walk when they're looking, and then you sprint when they're not.
If I learned anything from Leslie Vernon,
that's what I was saying.
If I learned anything from close personal friend Nathan Bassel, it's that when you're not looking, these murderers are sprinting their asses off.
Right. They have so much cardio they have to do.
God, I love that guy so much.
And that's when New Loomis sees Laurie and is like, "Oh, Laurie,
that's right.
I've dreamed of you."
Did he say I dreamed of you?
No, but you can see it in his eyes.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, "I want to murder everyone and see what it's like, and you're the key."
He is a little obsessed with being on the other side of murder, which we find out later. But yeah, so he talks to Laurie about what the fuck ever. But Black Cowboy Hat shows up and is like, "Hey, head
you want
to
buy some Old Spice?"
Yeah.
He's been involved for a while, Black Cowboy Hat. That's his personality.
Yeah.
Wisecracking and black.
And then he's like, "Hey, head sheriff, you should take this wounded doctor around with you to help you find a murderer.
Who will not stay in the car and probably caused that bus crash too."
I didn't even think about that, but you're right. He tried to help Michael get free.
Yeah. Yeah. And remember, he wasn't even really supposed to be on the van, but he was, or the bus. He's like, no,
Not even supposed to
he's
be here today.
Patient till the end. This is when we get the yogurt fight.
Yeah,
with
well,
stupid
because
drug boyfriend.
stupid boyfriend is making up with some hussy kitty.
Yeah, dude.
Not Kitty the mom. Hang on.
No, tiger.
This hot tiger, yeah.
Tigress.
Yeah, tigress. Yeah.
She is a tigress because she's trying to get all up on him. And he's not really pushing her away, man.
Siegfried and Roy need to get that bitch on lock.
They were just talking. I don't see what the big deal
Oh
was.
my God, they were clearly kissing Randall.
Yeah, he just whispered in my ear, and I tried said no, but
Are you pretending to be the
that's my
drunk boyfriend right now?
Yeah.
Guys, fourth guest with us, whoever played the drunk boyfriend. I know.
Drunk curly boyfriend.
Yeah.
I know it sounds just a little bit like
So
that.
anyway,
I couldn't tell if that was the drunk boyfriend or the boyfriend.
I know, because they're both
They
drunk.
both have curly hair, and they're both stupid.
And one is just slightly chubbier. Not even fat, just slightly chubbier.
Maybe he just likes to live his life and maybe do
I'm
a little
not body
cardio every
shaming. I'm
once
just
in a
saying that
while.
they are not demonstrably different on
His
any
face
level.
is a little more round.
So anyway, Allison goes out of the dance hall
Yeah,
or
she's
the
like,
gym.
"Fuck
The
you.
dance hall?
You-
What the fuck? She goes out of the
Dance all these
gymnasium.
boy.
Yeah. She goes out of the dance hall where they are.
Yeah.
And I'm sticking with it. It's the DH, guys.
I have
It is
to
the
say
dance
something,
hall.
too.
You have to say it?
I don't know why there are cheerleaders doing a weirdo Halloween dance.
Yeah,
that
you do.
doesn't happen at dances.
Well,
I didn't understand the whole scene.
It was dumb.
But
I didn't see anyone in that scene dressed as Carrie, and that sort of pissed me off.
I know.
Because if you're setting that up, there should be a nod to Carrie, and that would be a great costume if you're going to a dance at a gym anyway on Halloween.
Exactly.
It would be a great, anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
Listen, Blumhouse, call me. I could write your next movie. It'll be real bad.
So this is going to be a small spoiler for Dexter, but
it's going to be called Halloween's with a dollar sign. Nailed it. I got the first 30 pages right here.
So
Goes
she
out
rage leaves the dance.
Yeah, and then he
Curly
follows, and he's
vampire
like, I didn't
follows.
even, it wasn't kissing, it was fucking whisper in my ear. And then
Everybody welcome our fourth guest.
it's funny when you do it.
Let me explain why having a vagina makes me way funnier.
Oh shit, well done. Okay, why does the phone come out? I can't remember where the phone comes out.
Because, she's talking to blonde chick, and then grandmother calls, and then, I don't know.
he gets all pissy.
He gets
takes
mad
it from her
because
and throws
how-
it in the yogurt.
Yeah, he
Right.
throws it in the Activia, and
He
then
doesn't want his girlfriend to
and
have...
she says, I'm done, and walks away.
Yeah, I kind of feel like she expected him to go digging for that phone in the yogurt.
Oh, he did
and
not go
he
digging.
wasn't going to do it.
But then boyfriend is like, ooh, Allison's single? I'm going to go hang out with
make that
Allison,
move,
see if I can
yeah.
get upgraded to Allison's boyfriend from boyfriend.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't work out for him.
Friend,
And they're just
chubby
walking
your
home in the
boyfriend.
middle of the street.
Yes.
There's a killer on the loose, guys.
No one's
They don't
around.
know that, though.
Yeah.
They don't know any of the murders have happened
You should
yet.
always assume there's a killer on the loose.
Well, there,
Just saying.
honestly, at
Well,
any point, there is a killer
The
on the
police
loose somewhere.
department didn't do a very good job shutting
No,
all
they
this
didn't.
down either.
Right,
You know,
because
if they're clearing the streets or sending everybody home.
what is Black Hat says, like, what are we going to do? Cancel Halloween? We can't cancel Halloween. That would be crazy.
I do like how the cops in this do admit that Michael is a problem immediately.
Oh, yeah.
They're not like, there's
we
a
gotta
skunk
shut this shit
murdering
down.
people.
They're not
Yeah.
trying to convince anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
So the cops are inept, but on board with what's happening.
They
Like,
are.
they understand what's happening. They
They're
just
not
suck at
trying
their
to
job.
pass it off on skunks.
Right.
And then they
Is
take
it
a
literally
A
just
shortcut.
them two?
which
Yeah.
involves them
Yeah.
climbing over spiky fences and giving me heart
going Pet
attacks.
Cemetery style. They're,
Yeah.
It's a great plan.
Yeah. And then he tries to force himself on her.
Mm-hmm. And she says,
And
"Back
she's
the
not
fuck
having it, right?
up." Yeah. I thought you were sending me signals. Fuck
A lot
you.
of people laughed during the scene. Okay, so he tries to kiss her.
Mhm.
Well, he does kiss her.
Yeah.
And she pushes him off, and then they separate, right? She's like, I'm out, fuck you, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
So she climbs the other fence and is walking down the street again.
Mhm.
And he's like sitting on the ground because he has fallen on the ground.
And he's drunk.
Because
And his
he
beers
is the
are
new
going
Matthew
everywhere.
Lillard in this movie.
He
He's
is,
not
yeah.
anywhere close to as good, but he's the guy on roller skates for sure.
Mhm.
So he's on the ground and
Would you
he
say he's
sees
a
Michael.
Bobo Matthew Lillard.
Yeah, he's
the
a Bobo
poor
Matthew
man's
Lillard. Yeah,
Matthew
he's
Lillard?
pseudo Matthew Lillard.
Yeah.
So he sees Michael over there, and like the motion sensor keep going on and off,
Mm-hmm.
and he
He's like,
thinks Michael
"Hey,
is
old
the
man
owner of that
Williker."
house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I thought was sort of funny, but I was still kind of like scrunching down on my chair because I knew
Yeah.
he was going to get got.
And that's the thing. It's like the tones don't quite work for the death that this kid is about to have.
Oh
For
yeah.
him to
Yeah.
be
And
that
it was
kind of
graphic.
It
I mean,
was,
the
yeah.
death wasn't so much graphic, but when she comes back. Anyway,
He had
so
the pole through the throat,
Yeah.
mouth, and
yeah, it was very Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
guys know what I'm talking about? Hot Fuzz. He got Hot Fuzz for sure.
Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, I've seen Hot
That's a
Fuzz.
horror
It's
movie.
a comedy. I did like the motion sensor thing where he
I
was
did
like
too. Yeah.
the world's slowest strobe light.
Right. So Michael just kind of slowly sneaks up on him, and then
He makes a run to the fence.
He does,
Gets his
and
cape caught on it and gets
gets
stabbed in the
fenced.
back.
Yeah.
and hangs him up there nice.
And then Allison comes back because
'Cause
she
she
hears
hears him
him scream, and she sees him, and that's when she sees Michael for the first
Yeah,
time.
Michael does not try and hide himself.
Yeah, and then thus begins the vindication of Laurie Strode.
Yeah.
Where she has not been crazy this whole time. Michael really is going to get you. So she starts running and screaming, and she goes to a neighbor, and they actually do open the door.
Not the first one.
Not the first one. The first one
I
is
like
from
that
Derry.
too, just because, Although in that one, you don't really see if they're home or not. They may have just not
That's
been
right.
home.
Yeah,
but
They do open
anyway,
the door.
so she goes
and
someone.
then they're all just sitting on the front porch.
chilling.
Well, the cops are all around too. So there's a bunch of.
Like that's a deterrent.
That's true. That's
Michael
true.
kills a bunch of cops in this movie.
That's true. Okay, so then we see the cops collecting Laurie Strode.
Yes.
Kitty, Laurie's daughter. I can't remember her real name.
And
in
I
the
think
movie.
we're going a little bit out of the
We might
timeline.
be,
But
yeah.
yeah, so Laurie and Kitty and Mousetrap are going to
Mousetrap. We should call it Mousetrap for now. That's awesome.
Yeah, they're going to Laurie's house because Laurie's house is apparently the safest place on the planet.
Yeah.
And like what you were saying, they are taking the shit seriously.
Yes,
know,
they are.
Don't fuck around. He is going to come get you. And even if not, what's the point? Let's just get safe. You know?
But the mom, not Laurie Strode, Laurie Strode's daughter, Kitty, is freaking out because the daughter's not to be
His
found.
daughter-
Won't answer her
exactly.
phone
Her
because
phone is in yogurt.
It's currently balls deep in some Activia yogurt.
That's true. Yeah. I don't know if I want to be balls deep in that.
You don't.
Yeah.
And if you do, warm it up a little first. It'll be real nice.
Better than
I have a
peanut
question.
Yeah.
Do we
Yeah.
see Infidelitas' boyfriend again?
No.
So he doesn't die
Yeah.
because he cheated on his girlfriend.
Yeah.
What kind of message does that send?
I know.
Guys, if you want to die, don't cheat on your girlfriend.
Don't have a virgin in your crew.
What? Hang on. Hang on a second, guys. This is not fair. I do want to go on the record as saying I've had sex before.
How are you defining sex?
That's a fair question, but I don't want to go into it.
Yeah, that's probably.
But let's just say
Save it
this.
for the sex sound
Don't
bite.
eat that Activia yogurt.
Gross. Because Todd definitely put his dick in it.
There's a little bit of peanut butter inside it.
Gross.
All right,
Do a little
so-
swirl.
So she gets in the cop car. The cops come up to the house.
They're going to take him to Laurie's house. Yeah. So we got Will Patton, New Loomis, and Allison.
And Allison's in the back where the perp goes.
No, they're on the lookout. Remember, and then they see Michael.
Mhm, They
and
see Michael, and they're going to go plow him over.
Oh, they literally run him over.
Yeah.
just like the other
They
movies.
H2O him.
I haven't seen that. I have no
think
idea.
I think they do it in 4 or 5. I don't remember the end of. I think
That's
it's 5.
real dumb. You have a gun. Shoot him in the fucking face. Why are you trying to
If
hit
the
him
other
with
ones
your
don't
car?
exist, running over with a car does seem
Now,
efficient.
to be fair, Will Patton is about to go shoot him in the head.
Yeah.
But New Loomis is standing in the way and like looking all dreamily into his eyes. And then Will Patton's like, move, I'm going to shoot him in the fucking head.
And that's when he
And that's when
does
he
the
takes his
pen
pen
switchblade thing and stabs the
So
cop.
then New
in the
Loomis
throat.
goes ham and gets the mask.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, that
dude.
was a bit strange. The part where he was like had his fingers in the nose hole of the mask. I was like, what are you
caressing
doing?
the mask.
It's very
he
weird.
wants to see the other side of evil.
But anyway, so he puts the mask on, puts Michael in the back of the car with Allison.
Yeah.
And then starts to drive to Laurie Strode's house.
Yes. And I thought for a minute that he was going to be Michael for the rest of the movie and that Michael was really dead.
I thought that too,
glad
and
they
I'm
didn't.
very glad it didn't go that way. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't leave that mask on for very long because it probably stinks.
It probably does. You're right.
Yeah.
But I think he takes the mask off and throws it in the back with Michael.
He does.
Like he just takes it off
Here's your
immediately.
Here's
Yeah.
your mask. Yeah.
Anyway, so they get to
So they're
almost
going to Laurie's house.
right, and then it cuts to the two cops who we don't really know. But we've seen kind of on the peripheral of this
Bondi
movie.
Cop and Brownie Cop.
Yeah, Bombi and Brownie Cop. That's good.
Which, thank you for telling me how to pronounce that sandwich name because I've only ever seen that in print.
I've only read
I
that
know.
word.
And you know what? I've never ordered that sandwich because I didn't want to look like a fool.
Well, get one with PB&J because apparently you can do that.
Oh, yeah.
I like that scene though. It establishes
too.
those two cops and makes you like them before they get brutally murdered.
And, yeah.
It's usually a theme.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, anytime you're like late in the movie when it's introducing people and you're like, oh, that's really sweet. Oh, these guys are going to die for sure.
Yeah.
And they do.
Yeah.
So like the...
But she says that Michael talked to her, and that kind of freaks out New Loomis.
Oh, yeah, because
Yeah,
New Loomis is like, what did he say? What did he say? Well, pull over and let me out and I'll tell you what he said.
Because New Loomis wants to stage this reunification with Laurie and Michael and see what Michael does when he's
Right.
out of his cage. It's fucked up.
Because he's
Yeah.
crazy.
And so, but it backfires because she pulls over. Michael wakes up and starts kicking the cage and like squashes New Loomis against the
dash.
The dash.
Yeah.
And then drags him out and
And
watermelon.
gives him the boot. Dude, this was gross.
Oh, it was. And this happens a little bit in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is somebody gets stomped to the face.
Yep.
I mean, but his foot goes all the way through his face.
And like
it snaps. What did you say it was
squashes
like in the movie? You said something like, I can't remember what it was, but it was.
Well, I said it looked like a watermelon with rubber bands. It just
Oh, yeah. When you put on too many rubber bands, and it just like, it did look like
It was
that.
like an old pumpkin that you smash after Halloween.
It was.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I
Except
wonder if
with
that's.
brains and not
Yeah, except with brains for sure.
It was real
But
gross.
Allison is no
Kinda
fucking
deserved
fool, and she climbs out the front because you can't get out the back of a perp vehicle or whatever, right? So she climbs out where the gate was smashed
She
down.
Scream 2's her way out.
Yeah, she gets the F out of there and runs through the forest, which is also equally terrifying. But Michael doesn't chase her because the other two cops are right on him because they were not that far away. They see him in their rear view and go check it out.
Yeah.
And then I didn't like this either. So they get to the Jeep.
I think it's a
not
Bronco.
station wagon.
Explorer.
Oh my God, you guys are being ridiculous. But okay, so they go around the Jeep.
The police intercept.
Bronco.
The police, they go around
It's
the TIE
a vehicle,
Fighter.
a mystery vehicle.
They go around the
did you
Model
call
T, the TIE Fighter. they go around the Star
The
Wars
go-kart.
A-frame bomber.
The Millennium Falcon.
So they go around either side of it.
Yeah.
So you guys agree they go around either side of it. Jason was on one side of it. They go around either
Michael.
side of it. Again, they go around either side of it. Michael, I swear to God, Twitter, come at me. I'm misspeaking. It's not like I don't know the difference. I know the difference. Calm down. I'm caught up in the moment.
He doesn't know the difference between any kinds of vehicles, but he does.
Clearly a Jeep. Anyway, they go around either side of it, right? And Michael just
And Freddie,
pops up on
and
their
Freddie
side
comes
of it.
up.
Yeah,
Did I do it
man.
again?
No, I'm just.
Maybe that's how he
Freddie.
gets the other side. It's in the dream world.
No, this is ridiculous.
That's how he gets
It's
to
the
the other
upside
side.
down.
Now we're getting into it.
I think he catapults himself.
Where's
and does,
11?
a
Oh,
flip.
yeah, that's what it
Simone
is.
Biles is over that
but
Jeep.
Does that shit
that
not
Bronco.
bother you at all? The fact that he's
it
on one side, they go on either side, and then he's magically on the
I'm
other
on the
side.
east
He
bank.
walked.
I'm on the west bank. It's not exactly a Jeep. Boom.
It is exactly a Jeep.
It's not. It's a
Anyway,
Bronco.
that shit does that bother you, Randall?
It's goofy.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
but it
slasher
doesn't really
magic.
bother you that much?
I don't really care that much.
All right, whatever, man.
I mean, the dude has gotten shot in the face and survived.
Yeah, that's
so,
fair.
I mean, maybe he can materialize on
But
the other
either
side.
way, they get murder-rated.
Yeah.
Do they? Do we see that?
That's
Oh,
the
no,
one-
we see him later.
at the house. That's another one.
Fucking what flashlight in his face? And
Oh,
he
my
is
God.
A human jack-o'-lantern. Woo.
But again, that's another couple of kills that aren't there. They're
When you
just
gotta
you
pad-
just
yeah.
see this
you
stuff
got to
after.
pad your numbers late in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is when the cop car shows up. Dad's inside of the house playing with a yo-yo, right?
Yeah. That's-
Every man in this movie is a moron,
Yeah.
except for Michael.
No, you're...
and Cowboy Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cowboy Man's pretty awesome.
he
He's pretty-
is.
And he doesn't die.
He doesn't. That's right.
He knows to send these guys out to do his dirty work,
Yeah.
but he ain't going to get his hands dirty.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Anyway, so
That hat's not going to wear itself, man.
the cop car pulls up, and the dad
With
sees
super
it,
tinted windows. Did you notice
Yeah.
how tinted the windows were?
but they weren't tinted when they were whatever.
Yeah, okay.
So Michael gets the car detailed and tinted,
Yeah.
and then moves the
Puts
cop
a
into
spoiler
the
on the back
driver's
of it.
seat, who is dead and headless, and the dad comes out. Knocks on it. Because, I mean, and honestly, the dad is like thinking the cops are going to bring the daughter. So he goes out to be like, hey, what's the update? Knocks on the window rolls down, and we see headless cop with his head as a jack-o'-lantern.
But his head is
with
less.
his flashlight stuffed in his neck hole.
Yeah.
And it's I hated this
Yeah.
so much.
It was pretty gross.
It was
And kind of
grody.
awesome. Because I like this kind of stuff when I see it and I can imagine the violence and I don't actually have to see how that happened, you know? I don't mind it.
But I can understand why you wanted to see how they died.
Yeah, I don't even know if I need it to be that graphic because I think of stuff like Texas Chainsaw or I think about the first Halloween movies like that. You know, it doesn't have to be so over the top,
Yeah.
but just seeing it, I guess I do like that.
Yeah.
See, and I'm the opposite. I don't want to see it. When I see the result of it, I can imagine what it looks like,
Yeah.
but I can imagine a version that doesn't totally destroy me, you know?
Well, I guess it's the interaction because you know what we were
Yeah.
talking about earlier, the Texas Chainsaw stuff. You see so much, I guess, interaction and you see the death scenes,
And like
but
the impact.
yeah,
of
but there's
it.
no real gore. There's
Right.
no real.
And that's how
stuff
Halloween
happening.
is too, you know? And so the Ray dad, he only gets strangled. Like when you
Yeah.
actually see him hurting people, it's just beating people and choking them, other than when he's
Honestly, the violence is very real.
It is,
Which
yes.
is, I think, more disturbing. It's not like over-the-top
Right.
sort of silly violence.
right.
like,
Not
it
like
is-
slapsticky.
Right.
Like
But see, then
Scream
when
kind of
when you put the head in there and you stomp it, I don't think those fit together because
They
I'm with
don't
you.
really, you're right.
When you have very real stuff, okay, that's fine. Let's stick with this, not go to the full on watermelons exploding.
I think his
back
head
and forth.
exploded like that because he was evil, though.
Halloween.
No.
So he's Halloween 3.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
So he's that guy. Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
The evil.
None of that makes sense.
The
What are you
evil
talking
over
about?
time, like, erodes the part of your head that encases your brain. You know.
No, I
No, I'm saying her Twitter knows.
Well,
yeah,
fuck
you
her.
don't know anything.
Dad, who has a revolver, shoots off one shot. Jamie Lee Curtis, who's inside, is like, oh, I hear that. And then she goes to the window, and then
the indicator light goes on.
Right. Her Halloween sense goes off.
Yeah.
And she goes to the window and sees Ray getting choked to death.
Yeah.
And then
She's
her
like,
daughter,
yeah.
who's married to Ray, is like, where's my husband? She doesn't
she's
say
like-
anything.
Yeah.
She was like, no,
She
you
never
don't
really
know.
liked
Don't go
him.
near there.
Yeah, because he's always playing with stupid mousetraps and yo-yos.
Yeah, have you heard of Tinder?
You're better off. Exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, so she goes downstairs, tells her daughter, the mother of Allison, to go down to the basement.
Yeah, which is where all the guns are.
Yes.
Yeah. So they're both down there. Katie
Allison's
goes.
still running through the woods.
She is, and she finds the
Mannequins.
the mannequin shooting gallery.
Yeah.
And this part bugged me a little
was
bit
dumb.
because it was
It
like,
was pretty
Allison,
dumb. But anyway, so
the door, when he comes up to the door, Jamie Lee Curtis is at the door when he's finally about to get into the house.
Yes.
They had, I think that scene's in H2O. There's the scene where she looks at Michael through the.
Yeah.
So
the
I think
window.
there's one of those. I think that's also
where she
in,
sees him for the first time. Really. Yeah.
I think that's in the second one at the hospital. I think they also
Oh,
have
yeah?
kind of
Yeah.
a scene like that.
okay.
That's where she's actually confronting for the first time, and it's not just in her head anymore. It's now a reality.
But he reaches to the door and chokes the shit out of
Yeah,
her.
so for
through
this
the door.
fortress, it was very, very inferior.
Right.
Didn't-
Well,
Well,
it kept
was
him
it a
out.
fortress? Rent.
Maybe.
Was it a
Or was
fortress?
it a-
She did pray for it.
that's right.
She did.
Yeah.
So anyway,
That class was
he like
pretty weak.
picks her up through the door, and she shoots off 3 of his fingers.
She does. Yeah, and it's pretty awesome.
or 2 of his fingers.
Yeah.
It's 2 of his fingers. But
Yeah,
either way.
dude, she fights back, man.
Yeah, she does. And
is
more
a
with just
different Laurie
more than just
Strode.
knitting needles. Oh, she's had
exactly.
40 years to prepare. She's
Yeah.
a badass.
And you can tell.
yeah.
Yeah. It's
She's
awesome.
an aged Sarah Connor in this.
Yes,
Yeah.
she is.
Grandma
I love
Connor
Sarah
goes
Connor.
crazy.
Grandma Connor?
Yeah.
I still do want to call her Laurie, though, because I love Laurie.
Yeah. Well, you have her name on your
Although-
shirt.
That's true. I do. Hey, Todd, where can I get a shirt like this?
You can go to horrorvirgin.com and click on store.
Yeah.
And it will go right to our TeePublic store where you can get the shirt with all the final girls' names on it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It is
And
pretty great.
Really soft, too. True.
So anyway, she blows off his fingers, and then does she go back into the basement? There's a lot of
She
jumping
does.
back and forth back into the basement.
yeah, so she goes down into the basement with, and they hear him walking around, and she starts shooting through the floor.
she shoots once through the floor.
And then I love this part because she's holding her daughter's hand, and then she just lets go, and she's like, I got to finish this.
Yeah.
And she gets her gun, and she goes upstairs, and she starts, like, hunting him down.
Yeah,
And it's
going room to
so
room and
awesome.
locking every room down as she goes through it or clears it or whatever.
And dude,
Yeah.
she has planned this shit out.
And she eventually gets to the mannequin room. She checks the closet, and that's where she sees Ray because he's moved Ray's body up there.
She checks the closet. It looks just like the
She does
closet
that twice.
She got
Yeah.
trapped
When did he have the
in.
time to move Ray up there?
It doesn't.
Slash her magic.
He didn't.
Yeah.
Really? But yeah, and then we hear him breathing, right? And he's behind a mannequin or whatever, and he just jumps out and starts attacking her.
Walks with purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
kinda.
Swiftly and with purpose. He's got his keys
Yeah,
laced
he didn't
through his
really run
fingers.
anywhere. He just
Yeah.
he swiftly steps toward her and then throws her off the balcony. Like he gets shot off the
Well,
balcony
they
in the
fight
original
a little
one.
bit too.
They do,
and
but it's not-
It's good fighting though because she's actually fighting back. She tries to bite his finger.
She bites his she bites his finger nubs.
Yeah.
and that's when
And
he
he liked
throws
it.
her off.
Oh,
I
wait.
think his fingers have grown back by that point, though.
They haven't run back.
It's Michael. His shoulder grew back. His face grew back. His not being lit on fire grew back.
Are you referencing
It all
movies that did not happen in this timeline?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, you definitely
yeah,
are.
I'm the one who's confused.
You are. Anyway, so he throws her off the balcony.
Yes.
And then he goes to the balcony, looks over,
and
and
looks
she's
down.
gone.
Yes,
Right.
and this
And then
is another reversal of these iconic
Although
shots.
I will say, when she went over and landed, I said, "Oh, somebody broke a hip," and then I immediately go, "I've fallen and I can't get up."
did you? But then she does get up.
Oh, she does, and she runs away.
Because that's when Allison
Granddaughter
gets to
shows
the
up.
house.
Yeah. Yes.
she
Grandma,
starts
grandma, whatever.
distracting everyone.
So Allison hears her mom in the basement. She runs down into the basement, right? We don't see Jamie Lee Curtis for a bit, and it really
No, we
is.
don't because Michael looks back and she's gone.
Yeah,
which is
and
just
then
like in
it's
the first
really
one.
Michael stalking the girls in the basement. So he walks to the thing that's covering where the basement is and starts to grab it.
I don't need a switch and just
yeah.
rips it off the floor.
Yeah,
Well,
but this is
while
where.
he's doing that, she looks over and she sees the gun that's got KS for Karen Strode on it.
Oh,
This
her
is the-
name's Karen.
Yeah, that's
oh,
what
I thought
that
it was
K-
Kitty Strode.
Oh, do we ever
we
see
have a
Kitty
fan
and
theory?
Karen?
No, we do not. Although
Does
Kitty,
this timeline exist in the Arrested Development?
I think it does. Yeah, this is clearly after the Arrested Development happens after this. She loses her mind, changes her name to Kitty, and gets nice breast implants.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Somebody call
and then
Jason
gets blown
Bateman.
up on a boat.
Yes.
Or does she?
Bum, bum, bum.
I can't.
I made a horrible mistake.
Oh my God.
I really liked the part where the mom, Karen,
loved this.
is like holding the gun and like shit. Like, she's all like,
he's ripped the cabinet
Yes.
off. He's about to come, but he's kind of hiding because I think, she's got a gun. And she's like, Mom, I can't do it.
I can't do it. I'm sorry. I like, this is a great moment for her character.
Oh, it was so awesome.
And then he steps in.
And she's like,
steps in.
Gotcha.
And then shoots him right in the
dude.
I think it was like awesome. In the throat. Like, not that it matters.
You
can shoot this motherfucker anywhere. Yeah. You can shoot this motherfucker anywhere. He's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, William Shatner mask protects all.
But I love that because she's using the trope of the helpless final girl victim against him to lure him into the trap. And then she's like, gotcha.
So, and this is where you see Jamie Lee Curtis again. They start fighting and he falls down to the basement.
Her face appears just like his does right behind her. And she's like, happy fucking Halloween, Michael. I don't know.
Does she shoot him into the basement? I don't know how he falls down to the basement, but I think he gets shot into the basement by Jamie Lee Curtis.
No, I think she stabs him and then she hits him with a
frying pan. That's right, because they fight a little bit. Mm-hmm. And she fries him into the basement.
And so
poker
they go down.
That's
and
right.
then so he falls down into the basement.
And Allison and Karen start running up the steps. Jason grabs Karen's leg.
Yeah, you said Jason again.
God damn it!
Karen's leg gets grabbed
by Michael.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And that's when Allison becomes badass because she picks up the knife and she starts stabbing him and kicks him in the face.
Yeah.
So, and it's so awesome. These three generations are all like fighting back against.
And then
this
whatever
awesome
that trap
asshole.
was.
Yeah, and this is when Jamie Lee Curtis goes full Admiral Akbar.
I don't know who Admiral Akbar
is. It's a trap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But whatever all those, that just doesn't seem safe to have.
No,
it doesn't.
They're like katana swords.
I thought that she was going to slam the cabinet back down on him and like kind of squash his fingers or something.
No.
But no, it's like, fireproof.
It's a legit trap. Yeah.
And that's when, because they've been saying this is all, your paranoia is a cage in this house you live in. You're not keeping Michael out. You're keeping the whole world out and you're living in this cage.
Right.
And she says, it's not a cage. It's a trap. And I'm like, yes.
And then they light the house on fire.
And then they trap him.
While they're standing on wood floors.
Yeah. That was amazing.
And don't just shoot him. That did kind of bug me. And then we see.
Yeah, but okay, so we see the whole house catch on fire. Mm-hmm. You see a reverse shot of looking through the katana sword trap door or whatever. Mm-hmm. He's there standing in the fire.
And I love that we start to see Laurie get kind of emotional because she actually got him in the trap. And for all of this time, it's actually.
And then it cuts back to the basement and he's not in the basement.
Yeah.
So he's gone.
Right.
So he's clearly not dead.
Yeah.
And then that's the movie.
There's a trap door in that trap house.
Yeah. Oh, no, they go to the road. Allison's flags on a truck.
Yeah.
They get in the bed of the truck and drive away, and you see Allison holding the knife in her hand.
Yes. And there was blood on it.
So that's the end of the movie right there.
It is the end. Yeah. And I liked it. There were parts of this movie that I loved, parts of this movie that really annoyed me. So it was kind of uneven for me, but I loved the ending of it, except that they didn't kill him. So I don't know. It's complicated.
As the other 10 are.
Yeah. I hated this movie, but in the same way that I hated the first Halloween.
Yeah.
But I can recognize that they're both good movies if you like horror. I just don't like horror, and I hated it.
I'd say it's middle of the road.
Yeah.
It's definitely better than, in my opinion, 4 or 5.
So it's better than most of the Halloween.
Some of that junk in the middle, but I like H2O. I'm a glutton for punishment. I
love H2O.
I don't hate Resurrection.
Okay.
Resurrection's pretty bad.
Are those both with Jamie Lee Curtis?
Yeah, she's back in that timeline.
Okay. Do you want me to do box office projections?
Yeah,
this is box office with Todd. So box office projections.
Does it beat it?
I don't know what it made.
I don't know if it's going to beat it.
But it's projected to do 65 to 70 million this weekend, which is really good for a horror release. Most horror releases don't do that much domestic.
This is very good for a horror release.
So 65 to 70 million is pretty good. I don't know how much they spent making it, but it's going to make money for sure.
And there are going to be people that don't like this movie, and it is not a perfect movie, but people are going to go see this movie. Right. It is good enough, definitely, to get a sequel, and they've already started making a sequel.
Oh,
I'm a horror fan, so anytime the big budget movies get made and get people, because I think that brings everybody up. It brings all the other movies up.
Right.
And I love shitty movies. So.
And I feel like this is, you might not like it, and I'm not saying you, Randall. I'm saying people might not like what they did with the story, but it was a well-made movie.
Yes.
You know, they put money into it.
It was very well made.
They put a lot of thought into it.
I thought Jamie Lee Curtis acted her ass off in this. She did a great job.
Awesome in this movie. I loved her. And
honestly, all the female characters I think did a great job. And I think the
male characters did okay too.
I think the dad did a great job. acting, and maybe even the teenage boys did a great job acting.
Yeah.
But I just didn't like their characters because you're not really supposed to.
Exactly. Yeah. This is a woman's movie, and I love this movie because in the original Halloween, Laurie is one of the first final girls, and she's really just surviving, and she survives kind of by being proactive by like knitting needles and coat hangers, and that is significant.
She fights a little bit for sure.
I don't want to diminish that.
Yeah.
But I think we are seeing with H2O, this is 20 years after the final girl thing has been established, and now we're 40 years past that. So she's become a different kind of final girl who really takes charge of her narrative. Is she the
final girl in this movie? Because to me, there are 3 final girls.
Well, I don't think there actually is a final girl in this movie.
That is fair, too.
But in this movie, I don't really think they're trying to say she is a final girl, because you're right. There are 3.
Yeah.
And she's not really a final girl. She's taking on
she has
the
trained
guise
her whole
of the
life.
Killer.
Yeah.
But they're not, and this is the kind of thing that I have some complicated thoughts about, because she's not a final girl anymore. She has become the killer now, and she has become the hunter. And that's what all of those reversals of the iconic shots, I think, are saying. And I think that just feels a little bit different to me. It feels like she's taking charge. She's not taking charge of her narrative. She is overtaking Michael's narrative.
Yeah, I would.
She is going down his road.
So this is the way I saw it. So like Laurie Strode is, no matter what happened, it's either going to be her or him that dies. But there is a collision course that has to happen.
And their fates are entwined.
Yes.
And they say at one point, like, they're both surviving because the other one is still alive.
Yeah. But I think for the other 2, Karen and Allison, her daughter and granddaughter, they'd be fine just to live their life. Jason was just in jail. They don't really care either way.
Right. As long as
But Laurie prayed every day for him to get out so she could kill him. I agree with the whole taking on the personification.
If you look at like victims of assault, I know lots of times you will take on the personality of the person who assaulted you, because that's a way of giving power back to yourself. And I'm still kind of working through how I feel about all of this. So like, please let me know what you think too.
But I can see that, though.
And I'm not going to be mad if you disagree with me.
No, I don't disagree about that specifically.
I think that's what she's doing. She's trying to take on his traits and his character to try to reestablish her sense of control and dominance over him. And I don't think that's the healthiest road for her to go down. And I think she would be able to live a more healthy life if she established control of her own life without it being so entwined.
I mean, if she like went to therapy.
Exactly.
For sure. But she didn't, and she just needs to kill Michael, and that makes for, I think, a better movie.
Therapy, build a fortress.
Right. They're very therapeutic.
But the thing is, it has become her entire
Laurie Strode
life.
in therapy is not a good Halloween movie.
That's true.
So how do you feel about the whole murderer thing that happened? And, like, not great. Let's talk about it for an hour and a half. Like, that doesn't seem like a good movie to me. So I'm glad they went down this road. But I do agree. Movie. She does sort of take on a lot of the killer's traits.
She does, and it doesn't feel like a final girl to me. And I do not want to diminish her, because she is fucking badass.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Movie.
Grandma Connor.
And this is a very empowering ending to watch, but I don't know if it feels, maybe it's a new kind of final girl. I don't know. Listeners, what do you think?
It might be.
Because I'm still trying to figure this all out. Because Sydney was a new kind of final girl. Laurie was an original new kind of final girl. And then H2O, I think, added a new element to that. Because it was like a reflective final girl. She was, because you could see the arc of her character. Yeah. So this is just a larger arc. And I don't know.
I think to me, it makes sense, though. Like, I bought her character being a little crazy and having the PTSD and all that shit. Like, that makes sense to me.
And again, not trying to diminish Laurie in any way or the trope of final girl. I'm just trying to work through how I feel about it. So, listeners, tell us how you feel.
I liked all the little references. I think we mentioned most of them already. The Halloween 3 masks.
Yeah, in the one long tracking shot where Jason gets the hammer and the knife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, should we scary scale it?
Let's scary scale it.
So, what is the scary scale, Jen?
Our scary scale is how we rank how scared we were when we watched this movie today. It is not a ranking of the quality of the film. It is how scared we were when we watched it.
Yeah.
Our 1 example is Ghostbusters. Our 10 example is Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Right. So for me, I would say it is a solid 7 for me.
Nice.
I jumped a lot in this movie.
You did. Yeah. There were several jump scares. And I feel like not cheap ones,
No,
maybe
there were quite a few cheap ones. No, I don't think there were many cheap ones at all.
Right. I think lots of times when it was a scare, it was backed up.
Yeah.
Unless I'm forgetting big things.
No, I don't think you are. But it was quite scary for me.
Yeah, I think so too.
Randall, how do you feel about it, scary scale wise?
If it wasn't for John Carpenter's music and some of that stuff, I don't know. I'd maybe say 3 or 4.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't think it was too much. I did jump at Farmer Guy.
Yeah.
popping around the corner there. That was pretty good.
I'm glad you said that because the score was really good. Yeah. And John Carpenter and some other dude and his son
yeah,
worked on it.
Cody
Carpenter, yeah. Cody.
Had the Mustafa Akkad reference at the end of it.
Oh, yeah, and it was dedicated to him, too. Did you see that?
And I think
at the end?
it might have been his son.
Something like that.
It was. Yeah, Reynolds said that during the movie. So, yeah.
I think I'm going to give this a 6.
Okay.
This is around the level of gore and gore that I like.
It was unsettling.
It was unsettling.
I've already let
you get the implication.
All the
of
lights
the
need to be on when I get home. I will be sleeping with the light on and door locks when I get home. You
can check your backseat.
I definitely am gonna check the backseat.
Well, we mentioned the theme or the style. I guess that's the one that bugged me a little bit. It might be higher. Is when you look at something like Texas Chainsaw, it's crazy the whole way, and this is kind of the way they go about it. Halloween, the first one, I think had that type of that they were going for.
Yeah.
And this one was all over. You'd have a real graphic kill. You'd have the beat down in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Then you'd have a whole series that they don't show anything.
And weird humor stuff that doesn't always land.
So I just don't think
it was sort of all over the place.
It was uneven. And I read a review that was like, it can't figure out if it wants to be a horror comedy, a hardcore slasher, or a drama about trauma. A drama, if you will.
Drama.
A drama.
Some of the goofy stuff I think pulls me out of something real crazy.
Because I think it was uneven, and I wish it kind of had just picked one and gone for it.
I
felt
love
like it was
horror
trying to be
comedies,
straight. I do too.
Yeah.
But it didn't. It just felt.
Randall's the one who's been trying to get us to do Frankenhooker since we started the show.
Frankenhooker. I've got 10 on it right now. Please.
We'll do it. We'll
Want
do
a
it
date?
at some point.
Looking for some action?
Frankenhooker. I haven't seen that one.
I haven't either.
Shockingly,
Naturally,
it doesn't sound like the kind of movie I would want to see.
It's empowering for women.
Is it really?
Is it?
Yeah.
If it were called Franken Sex Worker, I would be more inclined to believe
that is more woke. All right, so let's do a mug. So we've gotten a lot of new reviews recently, so we went ahead and filled out. Yeah,
we're getting some really awesome.
So, and guys, please, if you want to help spread the love that is the horror version, leave us a rating and review. It really helps people find the show.
It really does.
We have recently, specifically in the past week or so, gotten a lot of new listeners, which is awesome.
Yes.
So thank you very much for telling your friends about the podcast or whatever you guys are doing, because it's grown threefold in a week. It's been insane. I thought we would do a mug drawing out of this. So if you've written a text review, it's captured your Apple login name. You want to do 2?
Yeah, let's do 2.
So it's captured your Apple login name. So we've written that in. We put it in one of our horror virgin mugs. And if you want to see what those look like, look in the podcast description and click on the link. You'll see it there.
Yeah.
And we will send you one of these mugs if we pull your name out. If you haven't left us a text review, go back in and leave us a text review. 5 stars, please.
Yeah, 3 words is all you really need. Although if
Todd's
you want to
the funny one. Yeah.
These jokes never get old.
Frankenhooker, please.
Oh, that's only 2.
Frankenhooker.
Yeah, well, Franken/hooker, please.
Yeah. Franken-sex worker, please.
Yes.
Right, there you go. More woke. So Jen's going to pull 2 names and we'll send you guys mugs. Just let us know on Twitter that it is your name we pulled out.
If we don't pull your name, we're going to keep your name in that mug.
Pull your name out the mug. All right, Jen, what's the first one?
Teraldo Danger.
Teraldo Danger.
Yeah. Hey, thank you.
That's actually one of the newer ones.
It is.
I wrote that one tonight.
Yeah.
So that's one of the newer ones.
Boosh Moose 27.
Boosh Moose.
Woo!
That one's an older one.
I'd like to hear the origin of that name.
Boosh Moose? Yeah, I think it's a feminine hygiene product.
Is it?
Well, it's mainly for your hair, though.
Oh.
I'm out.
Upstairs or downstairs?
It's for downstairs.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like moose. It's like moose, but it's for your boosh.
Okay, so I don't want to know.
You don't.
Hey, Boosh Moose, thank you for the kind review.
Yeah, thank you for the review. Enjoy the mug. Let us know you won the mug, and we'll send it to you.
And not what you did to the moose.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In fact,
but on that note, I will say we've been getting a lot of interaction on the social channels, and that's great.
It has been
we
great.
will respond to you.
Yeah, we talk on it all day. It is the highlight of my boring day. It's amazing. Leave a text review. We are a part of the Modern Horse Podcast Network. Check them out, guys.
And they're great.
And if you're listening to us in their feed, you're listening to this on Wednesday or some day after that. If you want to get it 2 days earlier, make sure you subscribe to us on our feed.
Yeah.
All you have to do is go into the description, click on the link, and it'll take you to our feed. Just subscribe from there.
Yeah.
That way you get it on Monday.
Yeah. If you have Horror Amino, you can get on there. We have a book club. You can join us.
Yeah.
This month, we are finishing up Goosebumps. We'll have a couple events coming up this week. And then next month is Silence of the Lambs.
And Randall, we should have mentioned at the beginning, Randall runs the Horror Amino.
He does.
No, not the,
he runs the book club.
Well, the book club for
with
Horror
the help
Amino,
of other
and
people.
And this is 100% online, too. So you can be a part of it from wherever. We've got people in Australia and like all over the world.
It's pretty great.
It is. It's
I don't
really
like
cool.
horror, so I'm not on there a lot, but I'm on there a little bit. I know you're on a lot more than I am, Jen. Yeah.
Sometimes we'll do screenings and things like that. I've
Yeah.
been a little busy this month, so
Yeah.
But-
Yeah.
Well, cool.
What's next?
Yeah, what's next? So, Jen, what is
excited.
next?
As you wish. We're watching Saw.
As you saw.
inconceivable.
Yeah, that Todd would actually watch this movie. Yeah, we're watching Saw, the original Saw with Carrie Elways.
Yes.
Dream Hunk.
So I think we're going to have Luke from
Luke Rodriguez
from Modern Horrors, yeah.
From Modern Horrors.
So he'll be on that episode. And then, so we will see you guys next week with Saw. Make sure you watch it. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure I'm the only one who hasn't seen it, probably.
Right,
so.
yeah. Did we plug our personal Twitters and stuff?
Oh, no, we haven't. So,
Yeah.
guys, if you want to follow me, you should. It's at Todd J. Awesome on Instagram and
if you
Twitter.
want funny and entertaining stuff and sometimes thought-provoking things about horror, you should follow me.
Oh, you. I was waiting. Who?
know,
I would love to follow
me,
some.
Also,
Yeah.
I feel like we don't plug our website enough, too. We've got an awesome website.
Well, before we jump to the website, it's Jen Ferratu on
It is-
Instagram and Twitter. It's her
That's
Instagram
true.
and Twitter. Before she gets
Follow me.
sidetracked, go to horrorvirgin.com for the blog. You
And
can
at,
also listen to the podcast
Randelic,
from there.
man. What about me?
Oh, and Randelic, yeah.
Well, come on.
If you want to follow Randall for all his sweet ass
Yeah.
horror
If you wanted to
takes.
get it, exactly.
In my 70s awesome Twitter sports stuff.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you turned me on to 70s sports
Whatever
Twitter,
it's called, they're
and
amazing.
it's hilarious. So Randelic, spell that. Is it just
RANDELIC. And that's the same thing on Horrormino as well.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And I'm Jen Ferratu on Horrormino too. Yeah, but go to our website because not only do we have a blog, but we also have our merch store there.
Yeah, the store is now
Yeah,
there.
there's a link and there's cool stuff there.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. It
Hey,
actually
everybody.
is pretty cheap too. We're not making any money on it really because we wanted to get the merch out there. We thought it was cooler
Right.
to have you guys actually wear it or have it on a mug or a pillow or a
And
book
it's
or whatever.
good
that it was.
quality too. Like I'm wearing one of the shirts right
You
now.
bought like
It's real
2
soft and
shirts?
cozy.
Did you
and
buy-
a travel mug.
And a travel mug. That's
And I
what
have
it was.
drank the shit out of some
Yeah.
coffee too.
I am a scrub. I haven't bought anything yet, but I will.
I don't want no scrubs.
A scrub is a guy who can't get no merch for himself.
Nice.
All right, guys. So that's going to be it for us. Thank
Yeah.
you, Randall, for being on the
Thank
podcast.
you.
Enjoyed it.
We'll see
Thanks
you
for
again in the
Thank
future.
you, New Halloween.
Yes.
For providing an episode for us.
So from all of us here at the Horror Virgin, I am Todd, your virgin,
Yeah, I'm Jen.
and we'll see you next week with
Yeah.
Saw, guys. Bye, nerds.